it, bro. 133. Hold on. You got to do it. Clap it. You got to clap it. Everything.
What's up, everybody? It's Ryan Bossery from Rywire.
Go again.
What's up, everybody? Hold on. It's hard to Ready?
Go.
What's up, everybody? It's Ryan Bossery from Rywire, and welcome to the episode 133 of Downtime with Downstar.
Hey, thank you for having me, Ryan. I appreciate it, bro.
What's up, dude?
Not much, man. Live in Shibuya, Tokyo.
Yeah, live in our hotel room here.
Yeah, dude. We're staying at Hotel Amit in Shibuya, Tokyo, and they have a conference room, and they gave us the X.
Yeah.
And if you've ever been to Japan, the X is no.
The X is pretty common for especially me, white, fair skin, and definitely look gaijin.
Yeah, that was weird, dude. I don't know why they didn't let us do it.
I know, it's like conference room 1. It says it right on the top.
Yeah.
But Japanese only, apparently.
Yeah, I don't know, man. But we're out here, guys. Tokyo Auto Salon 2020. We got here, on Wednesday. We left California Tuesday. It's Wednesday. Or we got here on Wednesday, and today is Monday.
Today's Monday.
So this is probably
Sunday night in California.
Yeah, so you guys are hearing this probably like 6 hours after we recorded it.
Yep.
I'm on my grind, man. Can't miss an episode, Trying to take away any excuse possible.
Yeah.
But it's been a good trip, man. This is our 4th auto salon together.
The last 4 years.
Yeah. It has been, huh? We haven't missed anything.
I don't think you and I have not missed any in 4 years. And prior to that, I think it was probably another 4 at least.
Really?
Before that. So it's been like maybe 8 years.
Yeah.
I mean, it could be as much as 10.
Yeah.
My brain goes to mush. I don't remember what I did yesterday, let alone what I did 8 to 10 years ago. So
yeah, I feel you, dude. I love it. It's dope. I think I've gotten the gist of it now. I always say that, especially like for SEMA. Every SEMA I'm like, I don't know if next year is really that necessary.
Right.
But then come September or something, you're like, oh shit, you get like that FOMO. You know what I mean?
Yeah, exactly. No, you do. And it's funny because you get FOMO even the opposite way.
Mm-hmm.
I noticed that I always go to this little meet called Period Correct. I don't go to a lot of big shows that much, but every now and then I like to go to little small things and stuff like that.
Yeah.
And that was actually yesterday.
Oh.
In Costa Mesa. And I was like, oh man, I kind of want to go to that.
Yeah.
But I'm over here Auto Salon, right?
Yeah.
You can't be everywhere in the world all the time. So,
yeah. No, definitely.
I guess it goes both ways, sort of.
Yeah, and things like this, it's not like every year is a drastic change. Maybe a new car here or there, a new kit or something, but I didn't see anything this year that was really stand out to me.
Right. Yeah, a couple people asked us so far, in the last day or so, what our favorite cars were, and I kind of had a hard time with that.
Yeah.
There wasn't anything where I was like, oh my God, I'm so glad to see that here or something. But it's an overall thing, you know? It was interesting seeing that EK Civic, the way they did that. There's definitely things I would have totally planned different on that car, for example. It made it definitely not my favorite.
Yeah.
But it's weird, right?
Yeah.
There's nothing that's just oh my God, that's the car of the show.
Yeah, and I don't know if that's because I'm, jaded, keep seeing so many stuff, sensory overload or what it could be. Mm-hmm. But I'm sure back home everybody's seen pictures and they're like, man, I wish I could see that car, such as the Civic. And it seems like that car, the EK, was such a great idea, but I don't know if it was rushed. I don't know if the car's even finished, quote unquote finished,
right,
or what have you. But the interior of that car definitely had a lot of opportunities.
Yeah, I mean, I actually didn't know that it existed until I saw a picture because we hadn't hit that hall yet, right? So the first day on Friday we hit the first hall. Kind of saw some stuff. We were with Ravi from CSF, and he had to like make an appearance with his guys, you know, in his booth area and stuff like that. We kind of stayed in that hall. Gonna hit the second hall the next day, you know what I mean? And I saw that car, like, okay, we got to definitely check it out, right? The outside of it looked very, in the pictures, I was kind of not impressed. I was like, they're like, the headlight thing is weird, and like, I don't really get it. And then I saw it in person, and it made a lot more sense.
Yeah.
You know, you sat in the car, and I kind of like leaned in and stuff like that, and I leaned in on both sides. I didn't sit in it. I mean, I used to have an EK. It's nothing that's I'm not gonna sit in and go like, oh my god, look.
Yeah.
But you know, it has the gauge cluster, and the climate control was like highly changed, right?
Yeah.
And
definitely.
it wasn't like a cluster from this. It was like something that they kind of had put together from what it seemed. But when you say opportunity, there was opportunity all over the inside of the car, outside of the car, but they just hit like certain specific things, like taillight, back hatch change, and then headlight kind of front bumper change, and gauge cluster change, and climate control change. But like, it didn't look like an EV car though.
It really did, and I would really love if it turned into one, or if it was one or something, but that's like the look that they were going for. But in the interior, the cluster's sick. You know, the center console on the dash looks sick.
Yeah.
But everything else, I think it even had like just a stock shift knob. You
right.
know, the whole interior, they didn't do anything to it. Even if they replaced the door panels or upholstered them, a different type of seat or something like that. But I don't know much about the car. Anything that we do know is just from people posting it up. There wasn't really any kind of information about it. So it could very well be that the car was rushed to be here, and it could turn into something in the future. So let's go ahead and hope for that.
Right. And I mean, the cool thing about the way they just threw parts at it, maybe if those do come for sale, now you as a Civic owner, just you want that one piece, or you want all the pieces they offer, then you can maybe buy that.
Yeah.
Maybe that's why it's so like simple. Like, they're not going to offer a shift knob, so there's no reason to put a shift knob.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, we have a climate control, a gauge cluster, taillights, headlights, and that's it, or something like that. And then so they don't want to touch anything else.
Now, what business was that?
Okay, I'm sorry for my ignorance on it, but from what I understand, it's called Madulo or something like that. Very similar. You could Google it, whatever. Yeah. And they're like a Honda Access.
Got you.
I feel like if Joey was here, he'd be able to tell us everything there is to know about it. But yeah, it's like, from what I understand, it's a Japanese only Honda Access. Kind of like, you know how Mugen is kind of OE Honda technically?
Yes.
Well, this is like very similar to that.
Got you.
It's some kind of a Honda Access style company that's backed by Honda. That's all I really know.
Yeah.
Definitely heard of it before, but don't know details.
Yeah, the car was very Japan style, and I say that because it's very outside kind of car, exterior kind of car. A lot of these cars here at Auto Salon, the exterior is immaculate, you know, from the wheels set up to the paint to what have you, but there's not really much done on the inside. And that's not all the cars, but a more majority than not.
Yeah, I agree with that. It's a very like what did you say? You know, when you walk into a show like this, it's sensory overload.
Yeah.
Well, it's like the sensory is from the outside of the vehicles. Definitely. You know what I mean? Like, it would be like that's what they want you to see first. And that's kind of all that is needed. You don't need to do the inside. You don't need to do the engine bay. So that's kind of lacking here, just as overall. Like, I mean, there's obviously tuners that are changing that pretty drastically. You know, guys that are like, even in our Honda community, like Yasu, etc., they're really pushing the limits of the engine bays and stuff like that.
Yeah.
But it would be cool to be able to see a little bit more of those kind of details at Auto Salon in the future, you know?
Yeah, I wish that trend from the States would definitely catch on out here.
Right.
You know, the smaller details and the more intricate designs of the engine bay, rather than just not even have the hood popped.
Yeah.
Like, speaking of the EK, like, I don't even know what engine it has.
Right. Yeah. Who
under
knows?
it. And then there was a few years back when they did the Rocket Bunny EG. the Pandem kit.
Yeah, that was his like personal car.
Yeah,
Right.
under the hood, we got a quick sneak under it, and it was like probably like your EG right now, listening, guys. If it's just your daily, it was something like that.
It was like that, but he kind of had like an intercooler mocked up.
Yeah, but
When I
the
say
car
mocked-
wasn't boosted.
Yeah, mocked up meaning intercooler test fit. Maybe no charge pipes or turbo, but it's it's just to give the look of what your end
could be.
product could be or something.
Yeah,
like that.
definitely. So let's go ahead and do like an entire recap of the week so far.
Yeah.
We got in on Thursday. We actually ended up meeting up with Ravi from CSF. Shout out to Ravi. He flew in almost at the same exact time.
That was cool because
Yeah.
he was coming from Australia. He was meeting one of his guys over there that he's doing a big collabo with and working with pretty closely. And he flew in he flew in and literally landed exactly the same time we did. Hey, where are you at? Like, oh, we're just getting off the plane. Like, oh, okay, us too. That's crazy.
Yeah.
Oh, we're just getting through customs. All right, cool. Us too. Oh, getting our bags. All right, cool. And then it was like we pull up when we both have our bags, and it's like, all right, let's go to Narita Express and get to Shibuya. So, and he was staying at our hotel. He had the Japanese single room with a mattress on the floor.
Bruh.
I would have walked in and gone like, oh, okay, maybe we can get a Western style room,
Yeah, I don't, it's not even because of the hotel, because when I came last year, Ashley and I, we had a one bedroom room.
One bedroom.
Bedroom, and
Yeah.
it was perfect size.
Yeah.
Granted it was small, but his was literally like a closet. It was weird. And then the restroom, I don't know if you noticed, it was like a I don't
side
know,
by side. Yeah,
by side.
tandem.
Yeah, like a
so
tandem.
you have to walk in one way and then like to the right. It was weird. It was super weird. I haven't seen anything laid out like that. I have seen single bed rooms like that where they're on like a rate, like a, what is it called? An electronic lift system.
Okay, got you.
Where your bed, it's got a regular bed, but then you press a button, it's like going up, and then it almost gets to the roof. And then what they do is they have like a little pop out, and there's a desk there, so it doubles the size of the space. And then the bed will come down when you're ready to sleep.
Yeah.
And that's why even when I was texting him, I'm like, are you sure it doesn't like come up or down or something?
He's like, bro,
no, dude, it's on the floor. I'm like,
There's not even a box spring.
Yeah, that's not cool.
I wish it was more socially acceptable to have bunk beds as an adult.
Yeah,
I think
right.
that would be so sick.
I mean, it's kind of like they have the capsule hotel space here, right? Where it's literally like a series of bunk beds and you kind of crawl into the hole.
In the drawer?
Yeah.
I still haven't seen it except for Seinfeld.
Yeah, I know. Oh, man, we could go on that for a while.
So we met up with Ravi.
Yeah.
We ended up headed to Shibuya, which is probably about like an hour train ride, 45 minutes, maybe something like that.
Yeah, that's probably just over an hour for that Narita Express train.
Yeah.
And it goes straight to Shibuya Station.
Yeah, Shibuya, everybody, if you're not familiar with it, this is on Tokyo Drift where like the crossing is. That's like the Times Square of Tokyo.
Times Square of Tokyo for sure.
Yeah, so I'm trying to think of what we ended up doing that night, because the time that we landed, get the bags. Okay, get the bags, get on the train, get dropped off before we even like got to the hotel. It was maybe even 2.5 hours from the time we landed in Tokyo.
Right, so it was nighttime at that point.
Yeah.
And that's when we went to have our first dinner, and we did
JBBQ.
JBBQ, yeah.
Yeah, so last year when Ryan Hegner and my wife Ashley came with us, it was towards like the end of the trip, and that was when you got sick.
I did, yeah.
And she was tapped out, man. We were walking 10 miles plus a day at cold car meets and stuff, and she's like, I'm done. So Hegner, being a big buff protein guy, he needed to feed those muscles, man. So he's like, dude, let's go eat. And we found this JBBQ place, and I remembered that it was I wanted to take a picture of it because this place was bomb. So we went searching for the place, and we were looking for maybe like 20 minutes until I realized that you could like geotag
your picture. So he's like looking at his picture, and like everybody thought of it sort of at the same time. I feel like wait, if you click it and go to like places, it'll literally tell you where it is.
Yeah.
Oh shit. Okay.
So we went over there and we grubbed, and we really, really grubbed, man. We made that all you can eat worth it, dude. That was delicious.
Yeah.
And hopefully we'll hit that up tonight, man. We got
That'd be a good
one
one.
more meal to go. So.
Oh yeah, I wonder if anybody saw your Instagram. We'll have to check it and see if anybody wants to join us tonight.
Yeah, there's a few guys out here, so
Yeah.
It's kind of hard to meet up with people, especially around auto salon time. Kind of the same as SEMA time, you know.
Everybody has a plan. Everybody's kind of like, they're either too tired, they're like just trying to do the show, or they're like going out trying to party.
Yeah.
Or they're like already have like business meetings and stuff set up. So it's hard to hit people at the right times.
Yeah.
We tried a few times, but let's get into that. So after we ate, we pretty much knocked out. Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't think we did too much.
Just came back to the hotel, and we knew that the next day, which was going to be the first day of auto salon,
Yep.
it was going to be a long day, which
Yeah.
they always are, you know. And we just had a really, really long day flying, and even though you're not doing anything, it takes a lot out of you, man. The flight was what, maybe like 10.
Well, actually, it was a little longer than normal. It was closer to 12 hours.
Was it?
Yeah, that was a, for whatever reason, you know, the headwinds and flight path and stuff.
Yeah.
I've had a lot quicker ones. I've had ones over an hour faster than that.
Really?
So this was, I would say, like a slow flight this way.
Yeah. So the traveling here kind of took most of our first day away. I mean, we got a good meal in, but we had to get prepared for the show.
Yeah.
So then the next morning, wake up kind of early. And the funny thing is, when you come here, you think like, dude, I'm so beat. I'm going to need to sleep in. And then you wake up at like 5 a.m.
Yeah, like it's not just that you're happy to be here. I mean, you are happy to be here, and there's like, you know, you want to start your day, but the jet lag is real. Like everybody, you know, I travel here a lot with like Ryan Durr and Joey, and like, dude, everybody's up at 5 a.m.
Yeah.
Like they just know, okay, well, shit, you know, let's go to bed at 2 a.m. and well, we're going to be up at 5 no matter what we do. And it's just like, for me, it's kind of bad.
Yeah.
Like, you know, I think it hit me harder than you. But yeah, I was up every morning at 5 a.m., dude. Like, fuck.
Yeah.
So I got up super early. You were up not too much longer after that, but Ravi had a bunch of work stuff that he had to deal with. And I did as well. There's a lot of back and forth that I was doing, but we didn't actually get out of the hotel. Even though we were awake, we didn't get out of the hotel until what, like 9:30 or something, which is honestly way too late, because we'd be jumping on we'd have to jump on a train from Shibuya, and then you got to do like multiple stops. You don't hit the location of the auto salon for a good, like, it's like an hour and a half ride, especially in the morning that direction.
Yeah. So just want to break down this whole trip to you guys, because I know that there's a lot of people that have interest in coming to auto salon, but it's very intimidating. Just going to a different country is intimidating alone, you know?
Right.
So I kind of want to make it like a real world situation where maybe somebody listening could put themselves in it. So we're in Shibuya, where I would recommend everybody staying at, for sure.
Like, I used to stay at Shinagawa.
Yeah.
And it's closer to the event. And you have like access to Shinkansen, which is like their bullet train. It's a big station. It's a great place to stay. Like the D Sport guys all stay there.
Yeah.
But it's one of those things where it's like, I want to be in the heart of it.
Yeah.
I want to like just hustle and bustle of the city, like downtown New York feeling.
Yeah, definitely.
And I'm not used to that. I live in Orange County. It's like not LA even, you know what I mean? So it's kind of neat to be surrounded by fuck tons of people.
Yeah.
Like right when you wake up and you're like, where are all these people? Where did all these people come from? You know what I mean? Sorry, go ahead.
So you go to the train station, you jump on the train, take you probably about an hour and a half, like you said, jump off there, and then you get to auto salon. And if you're gonna do auto salon, I would highly recommend Friday you get in as much as possible and come back Saturday just to tie up any loose ends, because Sunday it's not even worth coming. Even Saturday, the difference between Friday and Saturday on the train is ridiculous.
Oh, yes.
So you pass through the exit, which would exit to Disneyland. Disney World. Disney World.
It's Disney by the Sea, or like,
is that what it's called?
Something like that. Yeah, it's like right on the water there.
So when we got to that stop, the train pretty much cleared off.
Yeah.
And then we got to the event. We met up with Yasu from Exceed Japan. He got us into the event.
Yep.
And that's like you were saying, Ravi split. He went to go do his business meetings, and then we just jump in the hall. So it's pretty similar to SEMA. There's a few different halls. One hall is the smaller hall, which I don't know. It didn't have any like big brands or anything. It seems like where the smaller brands would go to. And then in the big hall, it was split up maybe in 4 big sections.
Yeah, because there's like pass-throughs where they're pseudo like outside for a second, like covered outside. I want to say that it's 3 big sections.
Possibly,
but
yeah.
it could have been 4. I forgot.
Yeah. You know what we did miss also? There was like, remember where that the auction was, and then there was that like little room?
Yeah. Oh, well, actually, I think I asked somebody and they said that that like those where those drift cars were last year.
Yeah.
Apparently that room wasn't there this year.
Oh, really?
Yeah, they were using it for something else.
Mm.
But yeah, you know how there's like the stage and all that?
Yeah.
We kind of never went there.
Yeah.
I don't know what was going on or if anything was going on there.
Yeah. And like I was saying, if you've been here for the last 4 years, it's not like every single year you're going to see something different, just like SEMA. So you get in there and you see the typical brands. One thing that I do really love about Auto Salon is that you can buy things. And that's really cool because you don't have that at SEMA. SEMA's more of an industry kind of thing. But you come here, you can go to companies like Ray's, or you could go to Brid or whatever. And they have products that are fairly cheap.
Yeah, there's like really reasonable little, like let's say you have Brid seats, right?
Yeah.
Like, oh, cool, I have these seats. And then there's like accessories for the seats. And they're like $10 to $40.
Yeah.
You're like, oh shit, little pocket, little pad, little whatever. Cool things to be able to bring home.
Yeah.
Or to, gifts for somebody.
Yeah. If you're like me and you like trinkets, this is like trinket heaven, dude. I even got the I got the Liberty Walk. I got, what was it? The R35, the mini like 164 size R35
This year?
Yeah, this year.
Oh, I didn't even see it.
I showed you. I'll show you.
Oh,
I'll show you. So it's like the Rocket Bunny kit.
Oh, okay.
The Liberty Walk. Excuse me. Liberty Walk kit is like the pink R35, basic replica of the real car.
Got it.
So I got that, and then I got like the mini Kato. Is like,
oh god,
half an inch tall, and he's with 2 models, dude.
Oh,
I just
my
had to
God.
get it. I love trinkets. But yeah, a lot of your favorite Japanese brands, they have the booths here. They have things for cheap, like I said, Ray's as well. They have like valve stem caps for like $7, dude.
Yeah, I know. I think like the last few years, especially when I have like a car build or something like that, I actually work with Ray's, and like they've given me wheels in the past, but then it's like they never give you the little pieces, like the lug nuts, right?
Yeah.
Like, oh, well, I want lugs as well to match the wheels. I buy them here.
Yeah.
Cause like, dude, like $200, $150 lug nuts are like $45.
Yeah.
So they're like really, really fair priced.
Yeah, and that's the best thing about coming to Auto Salon. You get to just pick up some stuff and bring it home.
Apparently, even body kits. We can get into that later, but
yeah,
I
didn't even know that, dude. That's
like
wild.
50% off on
that. Is crazy.
Kit. That's like that's a really good show special right there.
Yeah, and then Alex, my worker Alex, he hit me up and he wanted some stuff from the 326 motoring.
Right.
They're really big in his style, which is like the FRS style and things like that. And their booth is huge,
Fuck
dude.
yeah, dude.
So I went over there and getting lug nuts, getting this and that, and it's not that bad. You would think that it would be a lot overpriced, but the reason it may seem overpriced is because of the tax in the States.
Yeah.
So if somebody's selling it in the States, you're getting that Japan tax on it.
Yeah, because it's all how much it costs to get it over here. You gotta ship it over and of course.
Yeah, but if you're buying it from the company direct, dude, it's really, really cheap.
It's fair.
So that's cool. And one thing I wanted to mention too is about the currency. It's really easy to get used to.
Yeah.
So say if something's like 2,000 yen, that's just $20.
Yeah, you just take off a couple zeros, and if you're looking at it, then it's extremely easy to tell what's going on. It's not quite straight as that, but sometimes it is. And it's always going to be floating around there. So I don't even think about it. 2,000, okay, $20. You know, even if it's a little bit of it's $18 or something like that. But it is very easy to understand.
Yeah.
Makes a lot of sense.
So we went around, we hit the show, checking everything out. And since we did get there late, we didn't get to see everything that we did want to see.
Right.
So after the event, we jumped back on the train.
Yep.
And headed back to Shibuya.
Yep. And then what did we do that night? Now I don't even remember.
Was that when we met up with Ravi's buddies?
Yes, that was definitely was.
Okay, cool. Okay. So Ravi tells us
RWB.
Oh, okay. yeah, that's right. So we traditionally go to the RWB
in Roppongi.
And
that's actually the best way to get to Roppongi from Shibuya is to actually jump on bus 01. Mm-hmm. It's like 4 stops. Way easy. You have a Suica card. Let's go over that. So
go ahead.
Little green card. You just like load it, you throw money into it, and you can use it pretty much everywhere. You could use it at 7-Eleven, you can use it on the trains, you can use it on the bus, you can use it like anywhere you see the little machine, you can swipe it, you put money on it, it's like a credit card, super quick. Anyway, so same thing goes the bus. So we were like, oh, we're going to do this, whatever. And then we kind of like started going there, but we were actually on the city bus, and I'm sorry, we weren't on city, we were on a train.
Yeah.
And then we realized like, oh shit, it's not in
it's not at the same location it's been at for the last few years.
Yeah, it's at a different spot. And so actually there was a picture on like IG, and we saw the thing, and I'm like, oh no, that's Roppongi. I could tell it's Roppongi, but it wasn't because I didn't read the fine print, which nobody does, and now I'm guilty of doing the same thing. But yeah, so we're like, oh, it's actually like 45 minutes to an hour. So we just kept riding this train, and we finally got there.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah, it was a little trying because we were trying to, after we got out of the train, we're trying to walk to this location where it was at some pizza place.
Yeah, right.
Yeah, so we're trying to find it, and the GPS doesn't work as well as it would if you had, or back home, at least mine doesn't, because right now my phone's on airplane mode, so everything that I've been doing is through Wi-Fi. Right. So it's not as spot on as it would before, so like that blue dot is just floating around.
Yeah, it kind of floats around.
And I just left it on Ravi to figure it out.
Yeah. So then we get into a parking lot area, right? And we see some cars. And it was like, oh, that's kind of weird. There's only like a few RWBs here. Kind of keep walking. And then we ran into some people we knew. Like, there was Larry Chen we saw. Who else did we run into? Oh, fuck. A bunch of people. Anyway, so we were,
Chris from KW.
Oh, yeah. KW. Chris was there. So we talked to them at first. And then, you can pay like $20. And you can go eat inside.
Yeah. And they're selling merch outside. So it was kind of cool how they set it up. If you wanted to go eat inside, it was all you can eat, 5,000 yen for locals and 20,000 yen. So $20 for people who are just visiting for the show.
Right.
So, it's kind of weird, dude. I went in there and looked at like the food that they had, and it's not normal things that would be at a pizza parlor.
Yeah, you're like, what kind of?
So I wanted to eat well, and I'm like, I don't think that I want to blow my load on this kind of meal right here. And at this time, Robbie's telling us, hey, my buddies are here, and they I forget what we were going to do, but we were going to hang out with his buddies.
Yeah.
And we were going to go eat or something.
Yeah, we were going to eat. And then his buddies coincidentally had a really nice car because they're photographers.
Yeah.
Speed hunters, photographers. And they had, what did they have?
So they had a 2019 Rolls-Royce Phantom.
Yeah, so we were like, oh, this is kind of cool. And they're like, yeah, so we're going to jump in the Phantom. I'm like, do we have space? Because there's 3 of us plus 2 of them. So
I didn't want to get excited about it because Ravi was telling us, oh, they got a Phantom and stuff. And I don't know the guys. I don't know how many guys were with it. I know most cars traditionally 5 people. So I'm like, oh, dude, I'm not going to get stoked on this.
Yeah, because there's going to be like, they're going to have one of their friends. And then now there's not going to be room for all 3 of us, right?
Yeah, so we end up meeting the guys, which was Ben and Mark from Scene Media, which run Speed Hunters.
Yeah, so they're basically the backbone of Speed Hunters.
Yeah, so we ended up jumping in the Phantom and rolling out with them. And I felt like Rick Ross, bro.
Dude, it was pretty cool. It was neat because they knew everything about the car too.
Yeah.
So like Ben didn't know as much as Mark, but Mark was like well versed in that car. What do you need to do? What do you need? Like, which button is here and there? And he knew how to do the TV and unlock this. And it was pretty cool because his buddy is basically the guy when it comes to, you know, the Phantom
marketing.
The Rolls Royce guy for the marketing. And so he gave him the whole briefing, and you know, I think they tell him really a lot about the car because they want him to be able to make it look good and make the pictures and everything. You know, you got to teach him how to do it, right?
Yeah, definitely.
So all the like crazy add-ons, like apparently that car is like super loaded with options, $500,000 or something like that.
Yeah.
With all the add-ons for all the interior creature comforts and stuff like that.
Yeah. So let's kind of go over it. You're not one who's up for luxury cars, exotic cars, or anything like that. How did this car change your mind?
It's definitely a car to be driven in.
Yeah.
I enjoyed being in the back. I mean, I think most of the time I was in the middle seat.
Yeah.
So I didn't get the, like, you know, all the comforts of the lounge chairs that you guys were in. But I want you to be able to enjoy that. I want you to experience
bro. It was
that.
awesome.
I'm
dude.
like, cool, whatever. I'll sit a bitch in the center back there. I don't really care. It's just it's a free ride. So, but no, it was a really, really cool car. What impressed me the most, and I have seen this before, like a couple people that I know have homies that have that car.
Yeah.
So I've seen the roof before. The roof is dope. It's like you're outside. You know, it's like you guys if you saw my IG, I was kind of posting the roof a lot because it really excited me. I think it was really neat. It was basically all these LEDs inside of the carpeting in the roof, and it looks like stars. You can do like cool things with them, dim them and light them up. And you could probably, I mean, I was thinking that, you know, if you had like a PDM, and you could make it do like different outputs, and you could have it say things in the roof, and you can have the stars dance, and you could probably do like some really cool shit if you had the technology. But anyway, the roof impressed me a lot. The little like oh shit handles.
Yeah, that was cool.
I mean, they were like really nice leather, and everything was very, very comfortable and very well built and well made. But I just like it was like, you know, the soft closing kind of feature. Everything like when the door, you press a button and the door comes and shuts, and then it sucks in. You know, like that's a pretty typical option these days with new automobiles. But that kind of shit just kind of like gets me like, wow, that's dope, you know?
Yeah, no, that whole car was just blowing my mind, dude. And even the stars on the roof, it was cool. And then we're talking to the guys, and they're like, oh yeah, it could go brighter. And we're like, what?
Yeah, it was like way bright.
We're like little kids, dude. It was cool, man. It definitely made me have a new respect for Rolls Royce, for sure.
Yeah, for sure. Pretty cool. And I wasn't aware that it's a twin turbo V12 BMW engine.
Yeah, so the motor's from the BMW 7 Series, so which makes me feel a lot more comfortable.
Yeah, because you're a BMW guy.
Yeah, definitely.
I guess I call you a daily use BMW
guy. Yeah. And I understand what the power of a BMW motor is, how it feels.
Yeah.
And that's from an M4. I could only imagine with the 7 Series, you know?
Yeah, because yours is that M4 is an 8 cylinder, yeah?
No, it's a 6.
Oh, yours is a 6. Okay,
and it's small.
Okay.
The displacement's small, dude. If I'm not mistaken, it's like 3.2.
Okay.
Yeah, so this is a big boy motor, you know?
Yeah.
And you would think that this car being a big boy car, you know, over 5K pounds, dude, that car moved.
It did.
Yeah.
And it moves like in silence.
Yeah.
There's probably a lot of mufflers on that thing, dude.
Yeah.
I mean, the two turbos, I'm sure, quiet down the exhaust noise a little bit.
Yeah.
But it's like a smooth sailing car. And I don't know what gearbox. I know it's an automatic of some sort.
It was an 8-speed.
Yeah, that's
automatic.
what I was going to say. It just
7-speed, excuse me. 7-speed automatic, yes.
The shifting felt like super smooth. You don't feel any of the gears hit or anything like that. It's just, it just kind of goes. It's almost like a CVT feel, like a continuously variable style, where, you know, they're not like, dun, dun, dun. Like, it's just all one sweep.
Yeah. Another thing that really impressed me about it was the infrared.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, so guys, it has the screen up front, and there's a mode where it's infrared. So I guess it's if you're driving in the back roads or something like that, it's keeping an eye on if a deer pops out or there's an animal in the road or something. And Ben, he tested it for us, and at a crosswalk, you can see the bodies moving past, and it's like an orange color, and it's super cool, dude. And dude, I fell in love.
Yeah,
you know?
I know you've already been looking at.
I'm already
prices.
looking. Yeah, because my dream car is a Lamborghini, you know? So Huracan, nothing super crazy. Like Aventador, I would love to have it, but I can't see myself spending $350 for a car, especially a car that I'm not going to be able to drive that much.
Yeah.
Knowing that this car has a BMW motor, that makes me feel a lot better, because like I said, the M4, I already have like 40,000 miles on it, and dude, this car still feels like brand new.
Right.
You know, so you could put miles on this car, and we're looking it up, and on the train ride today, I was like, Ryan, I want to get one. So I actually want a Wraith instead of a Phantom. But the Wraith from production 2013, so 2014 and up, is the same body style.
That's crazy.
Yeah, dude. So as long as from 2014, it's not like you're gonna have a tape player or something in
right.
it.
Yeah, they're gonna change things. They'll probably facelift like minor
small things, but it's not like it's out of technology. You know,
no,
it's still gonna be a good car, and then you put some 4Gs on it or something, man. I think that'll be sick, dude.
Yeah,
so,
that'd be cool.
I'm shooting high, bro.
Yeah, if I can aim high.
Yeah, so this is so funny, dude. We've talked for the last like 15 minutes about Rolls Royce. I think that it worked, you know, subliminally marketing worked.
I know. Even if they only hit one customer and that's you.
Yeah.
And if you did buy one, well, granted, they're looking for people that are going to buy probably a brand new like
still
2020 car. But,
yeah.
But yeah, if they turn you to the Rolls Royce side of things, then I guess they're that freebie car for a week that they gave Scene Media is like going to be worthwhile.
Yeah, no, definitely. And big shout out to those guys, Ben and Mark, man. Is in this industry, I've met so many people, and people who would be at their stature, their influence level, you know, they're usually not the most friendly kind of people.
Or like they're harder to like kind of, you have to break them down.
Definitely.
Like, you know, maybe the 10th time that you kind of hang out, then like you see their true selves.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, and I totally get it. I mean, your guard's definitely high because everybody just wants something from you. But to be able to connect with somebody, like a person-to-person connection, and then the business being second, I mean, that's like the best relationships that I like to build on, you know.
Right.
So when we met these guys, it's like, dude, this energy is awesome. These guys are great, you know, and they're out in the UK, so London, and then outside of London. But anyway, we end up going to eat with these guys.
Yeah, we went to sushi. They actually said, I heard the word sushi, and when I hear the word sushi, my ears perk up and I get all excited. So I'm like, yeah, fuck yeah, sushi. Let's go to sushi. Like, I heard you say it. Like,
yeah, let's go.
Oh, I got this one good spot. Somebody told me. Yeah, great. Yeah, put it in. You know?
Yeah.
So then they put it in GPS. Oh, no, wait. Before that, we were headed to... Okay, so apparently what happened was they were shooting a car at RWB.
Oh, shit. Yeah, that's
and
right.
What happened was Mark accidentally dropped his lens.
Yeah.
And it's like, you know, $2,500 lens, right? And he shattered it on the ground. It was done. And so he couldn't finish the shoot.
And Auto Salon is the next day.
They still has plenty of work that he has to do. So there's like big camera or something like that. They're like calling and they're like, do you have this model in stock? We need it. And they're like, oh, yes, we have it in stock. And, you know, it's funny because it's like accents, everything, you know, different languages and crazy accents. And he's like, you know, does he understand? Like, I think, he said he's going to hold it. Like, okay, whatever. So we pull up. It's like 45-minute drive because we're, you know, kind of far away. And we're headed towards kind of back to Tokyo, like where we live, where we're staying. And anyway, so we pull up and we're in a bus lane.
Yeah.
Because like, you know, like different laws kind of. And I know you can't do this anywhere really, but we just like stroll right up to the front.
It was close to closing time.
Yeah.
So it was like, we can't find somewhere to park.
That's right.
You just got to hop out and run.
Yeah. So the driver, which was Mark, he opens the door and just pops out of the car and just like jumps over this rail. And then these cops run up to the car.
It was like instantly.
Like, we put the emergency flashes on, 3 flashes in, and these motherfuckers are like on us, right?
Yeah.
Like, oh shit. Nah, it's Japan. They're gonna be chill.
It's chill,
like,
yeah.
Act stupid. Say you don't no speak English. Sorry, I don't know. I don't know. Sorry. And anyway, so Ben jumps out of the car because he's like, oh shit, I need to go jump in the driver's seat and like pull the car away. They're like, no. So Mark runs away. They don't chase him or anything.
Yeah.
They almost did like a little switcheroo where maybe he thought it was the same guy or I don't even know. It was weird. But then the cop ran over and greeted Ben and was like, let me see your driver's license. Like, kind of started yelling at him and stuff. And he goes, oh, it's in the trunk. You're like, okay. So then he opens the trunk and then, he's standing very politely with his hands behind his back and kind of bowing and talking to the now then 2 police officers.
Yeah.
And man, it was like they were yelling at him.
Yeah, dude, it was way more extreme than I thought it was going to be.
I thought it was just going to be like, what are you doing? You can't be in this.
Okay,
this
go.
Get out of here. Go. No, it was like, do you understand the rules of the road? Like, I thought there was a chance that they were going to like arrest him.
Yeah, it was, the energy was definitely a lot more harsh than I'm used to here in Japan.
And then Ravi was trying to take selfies of himself with the cops and Ben in the background to try to get like a good picture to send him, right? And it was like, oh, we're kind of having fun because we're like in the back of this.
We're chilling in this Phantom,
we're chilling in the Phantom. And then, we're making jokes like, oh, pretend like you're like somebody, like cover your face. And like, they're all looking in. And apparently, dude, that car is like a fishbowl.
Yeah.
Dude, you see in.
Yeah.
It's pretty weird. I didn't really realize until like, later on, all these people are looking at anyway. So it is like a fishbowl. It's very strange. So they're like looking in and looking at us. Who's these guys and what are they doing? The doors are opening like suicide style.
Yeah.
They're probably like, what the heck is this thing?
Yeah.
And what are these guys doing? So let's see. After that,
so then we went to go eat.
Yeah.
So then we sit down to go eat, and Ravi is an advertiser on Speed Hunter, so they're talking business, and which was really cool too that they also involved us in the conversation.
Yeah, and it wasn't like, oh, we don't want you to know these figures, and this is like internal information.
Yeah.
It was just like, yeah, dude, whatever, fucking, this is how it is, and
very inviting.
Yeah, like nothing was off. It was just dope. Straight conversation. Everything was really good. But yeah, so we had food with them. We had sushi, and then they actually just dropped us off at the hotel, right?
Well, we were walking back to the car, and then Ben's telling us about this like awesome ice cream that he's had before.
Forgot. Yes,
so we
course.
go into the Family Mart, and he just grabs like a whole handful of these ice creams, and it was this. On the outside was kind of like waffle shaped. I think maybe the same material or food as a waffle cone.
Sure, it was like a waffle on the outside, and then it had the vanilla ice cream, but then it had like a chocolate, crunchy, just chocolate sliver in between it.
It was good, dude. It was good. Yeah, so we all had the ice cream and just cheersing.
We're cheersing with the ice cream, so everybody was fucking having a good one.
It was dope, man. We're having a great time, So they end up dropping us off back at the hotel, which is dope, man. We were like door-to-door service.
Yeah, and definitely felt the role of being a passenger in a Phantom at that point.
Yeah, so shout out to them, man. Really cool. So then we end up going back to the hotel, just passing out or whatever. And then same thing again, end up waking up again. And you, before me, you're really good at waking up. in the morning.
I guess so. Yeah.
Me, Ash could attest to this. Like, I would probably just keep sleeping forever.
Yeah.
You know, because every day I have something to do back at home. You got to get up, you got to go to work. So when I have those days where I don't have nothing to do, I'm just like chilling.
Yeah.
But we still had Auto Salon to do.
Right.
So we end up coming, this is Saturday. We end up going to Auto Salon, which is the second day. So remember what I was saying about the Disney exit. So the train is packed, guys.
Dude,
and
fucking packed.
The culture of Japan is extremely polite, very nice, but not on the train.
Yeah, on the train, it's like every man, woman for themselves. They will push you out of the way. They'll, like you cram your ass in that thing. They just like they'll literally have the like little guard like out, staff like pushing you into the thing, packing your ass in there so they can get the doors closed.
Yeah, and that would never happen in New York.
No,
everybody would be fighting.
Yeah,
so it's kind of like those videos in India where people are just like on the roofs and holding on.
Yeah,
to the
it's
side
like
and
that.
Stuff.
It's close to that. Very close to that.
Yeah, so it makes for a very miserable trip.
Yeah.
So we're packed inside of there, and we're thinking, oh, cool, we're coming close to Disney. This shit's gonna clear out, and nope.
Yeah, still packed.
Didn't clear out, man. Saturday, so Friday, I don't know is it just media on Friday?
Yeah, Friday for the first half of the day.
Got you. At
media.
2:00 is when it opens up for public.
Right.
Got you. Yeah. So definitely a lot more people. And that's the reason that I say to come on Friday, take care of everything that you can.
Yeah.
Even if you don't have media, just
right.
come at
Even if
2
it's
o'clock. It's from 2 to 7,
yeah.
right? 5 hours, you can hit that one big haul. Definitely.
Yeah.
And then you come back on Saturday, you do that small haul and then run through anything else that you need to do.
That's a good plan, definitely.
Yeah, so we're coming, and we actually didn't have access this time because it's just a lot more crazy. Yasu wasn't able to get us in, so me being a criminal, I'm just trying to walk in there, just trying to think of ways that we could just like cut, we could go through. And Ravi tried to bring us in with his pass, and nope. So
they were like, yeah, it's not 3 people for one. It's each person must have a pass.
Yeah.
He spoke very good English and told us exactly that each person must have one pass.
He knew what we were trying to do. So then we go, and it's not hard to get tickets. We go in the ticket line, and this is another thing that I wanted to bring up. The ticket was only what, $30?
Yeah, no more than $30.
Yeah, so it's nothing, guys.
Yeah,
and
I think if you buy it online on their website ahead of time, because I figure we'll just probably, we'll wing it, we'll get in.
Yeah, we'll figure it out.
But we had to buy one pass, was $30. It's nothing. But I think it's closer to like 50 for the entire all 3 days if you buy it online ahead of time.
Got you.
Something like that.
So then we end up getting in there, and Ravi has to go do more business because he ended up getting a spot in the booth of. What was the distributor's name?
It's kind of like the Turn 14 of Japan.
Very big deal, though.
Yeah, I feel bad. Hashimoto.
So Ravi with CSF is linked up with Hashimoto, and they managed to give him a display area, which turned out to be pretty big, dude.
Yeah, it was cool.
It was at least like 3 full-size radiators, and then they have like the cooler for the M3, M4 BMW thing.
Right.
So I was super happy for him, dude.
Yeah,
because that's awesome, man.
He was like 1/4 of that booth, basically.
Yeah,
really cool.
So and his car was supposed to be there in the booth. If you guys aren't familiar with it, it's the Evo 10 white one that was Rywire had his hands all over that thing.
Yeah, I did a bunch of work on that. We wired it, plumbed it, sorted out all the electronics and stuff like that. But at the last event, so Ravi's been pretty serious about circuit racing and also the top speed racing. So he's been doing that, and he's been pretty successful with the speed trial events, but not hadn't really done much circuit. So he's like, all right, let's get this thing on the circuit track. He had Michael Essa behind the wheel, which is a professional drift driver. Also grip, he can race whatever. Very good driver. And so that he had it all set to maybe like it was a competitive setup. Mm-hmm. I think that he could have like even won the event, but he actually had a fuel line come loose, and right basically at, I feel like almost guilty, but it's not even possible that it was my fault. We on the dyno there was like a little like in like a fluctuation with fuel. And one of the tuners said was, hey, I think it needs a pulsation damper. So we bought a pulsation damper. I put it in, and it's like a little thing to basically just not have inconsistencies in the fuel pressures. So I threaded it on there and I tightened it all up and everything. And like that fitting ended up loosening. This was like, I put it in like 8 months ago, and it's done racing since. But I just say that because I did touch that part. Anyway, so that piece somehow loosened itself up, and they run really high fuel pressure, like 100 psi when like it's at full boost and stuff like that. So it's even higher than 100. So you have 100 and let's say 20 psi that's just like waiting for any fucking little hole to
trying to get out.
So because that line, maybe it was the forward, backward, the hard braking and the hard acceleration, maybe like that back and forth somehow loosened that fitting a little bit. And nobody noticed it, and it actually came off. And when fuel hits exhaust manifold, that equals fire. So the car actually, the engine bay like pretty much halfway like burned down. Super sad. And I know like that car had a lot invested in it. Fortunately, the main thing that it took out, bunch of sensors. So, you have ID 1700s that shit's fucking melted to the wiring harness. Like that's not good.
Those are scrapped.
Oh yeah. Injectors were done. Wideband sensor was done. Fuel pressure, temperature sensors, all this stuff was just done. So that's, you're probably 2 G's in sensors. And then the wiring harness burned down, because that's going to be the first thing to burn. Because if you have a fire, like the titanium manifold's going to be cool. But the fuel plumbing hoses, so a lot of those XRP hoses burned down, like the boost lines and stuff like that, and then the wiring harness was toast like quick.
So the reason that I bring that up, it was very unfortunate that happened, because that car was supposed to be here at Auto Salon in the Hashimoto booth.
So Hashimoto actually had this huge did you see the lights too? They had it all set up for lights. That's not cheap. Like they have mad money in this booth. Super dope. But yeah, Ravi's car was going to get shipped over on a boat, and it was going to be right there at the Hashimoto booth, and it was going to be fucking rad. But because the car, cosmetically doesn't look good, and we have to get it done for this next year, they never shipped it over.
So it was nice for him to have that set up right there. It's just an honorable thing to be, this far away from home and to have a setup there. So he's there with his in his uniform and everything, talking to customers, spreading the word, man. Ravi is an extremely well businessman. He holds himself very well, and it was dope for him. So I was happy to see that work out for him. It would have been nice for everything to work out. But this isn't the last year that they're having Auto Salon.
And it's not the last year. It's not like that the car's not invited back next year. So we're going to work really hard, get the car racing this year, and then have it come back for next year.
Which will not only be a good thing for CSF, but that'll be a good thing for you and for me and for as well, because we'll have something to display the products that we do offer.
And there's not really there's not very much American influence here at the Auto Salon. I don't know of any U.S. cars that are here. Do you?
No.
I don't remember seeing any, U.S. specific builders or anything like that. So, guys that are on that car, U.S. companies like yourself, myself, Rotiforum, LTMW, the guys that did the body kits, everybody that's done work on that car. We're going to all be able to now have support, and we'll be able to bring our U.S. tuning culture, properly built, dope-ass Evo, to Auto Salon. So next year, I'm really looking forward to that.
Yeah, dude, I'm super excited about that, and I'm glad that you bring up, LTMW, because we're at the Liberty Walk booth. So we went to the Liberty Walk booth, and they always do crazy stuff. Every year they have something new. As big as you think Liberty Walk is in the States, it's way bigger here in Japan.
Yeah.
And I can't say that for all brands. There's a lot of brands here at Auto Salon which have very small booths, nothing really crazy done to them. Yet back home, that they're extremely popular. Yeah.
Right.
So Liberty Walk has maybe like I can't even think of the square footage, but
the big booth.
It is huge.
Both sides.
Both sides.
Like, they got like pretty much I think the biggest they sell, like the biggest that Auto Salon will give, and then they have a bunch of spots for their other cars. Like if you guys see the black NSX and then the Bape,
the Huracan.
So those are like another like 12 spots that are like right next to that booth.
Yeah,
and those are all their like normal cars that in any other circumstance you'd think that would be the focal point cars. Yeah. But then they have crazier cars, another like 4 or 5 or something like that.
Yeah, like
the GTR R34 with a L series carbureted, Dodson. I don't know. It's got, dude, they basically want to just wow you and do the most crazy off the wall shit.
Maybe it's to create conversation, because definitely that motor setup would create conversation, because it's like, why would you do that?
Yeah, use like old technology carbureted in such a like modern newer car.
And that could lend over to the point that I was making earlier, that maybe some of the stuff on the inside isn't really as focal point to the outside.
Right.
The outside is insane, dude.
Yeah, the outside was crazy. So it's like a new style kit that they're trying to do that's like more like GT style.
Yeah. So we ended up getting to the booth. You had to use the restroom.
Oh,
so
that was funny. Yeah.
So you didn't get to be inside of the area when they were gonna do the release of both of these cars. So
I didn't really care too much. I was like, whatever, dude.
So Long from LTMW, he got us into the back right there, and we were able to. That's when I was live, just videoing these cars, the release of them, and the R30.
I should have went on your live, and then I would have.
Then you could have seen it. But the R35 that they did come out with, that shit was insane, dude.
Yeah,
like the whole body was dry carbon, and it was such a great looking car, and then they had the new wheels from LD97. So Long and Rich from LTMW, they have a wheel line as well, which is the LD97 wheels, and dude, those are sick, man. They had them all on display, and it was like the two-tone, so it was gloss black and then matte black, and all the cars had those wheels, and it's like, fuck.
Yeah, we've seen the gloss black and matte black before, but on like all the cars, and then like in the backdrop, it looked fucking cool. It just looked really fucking good.
It did. And Liberty Walk, it seems like they're changing their image. For the past few years, and ever since they've been around, it was more of like I want to say maybe a urban style feel to it.
Yeah, now it has like a mid-century like modern kind of feel. Like they did all black booth. It was all blacked out, and then they had like a cavity kind of look where the people would kind of stand in, more space. And then it was all illuminated, like kind of surround lighting. And then they had like lateral wood boards, decking or whatever in the back. So it definitely had that like really cool vibe. Definitely more like modern upscale, rather than like the streetwear tagging kind of style that I think that they had in the past.
Definitely. So I'm interested to see where they're going to take the brand. This year was a lot different than the past, and that was the first thing that came to my mind when I seen the booth. I was like, whoa, is this Liberty Walk right here? And it was a really nice setup that they had, and of course the cars are dope. And one thing that I do like about that company is that they always build a new car or a couple cars for the event. There's always so much hype to it, and they just build and build, and it's covered, and it's just, they market themselves very well.
They do. They sure do.
Yeah, so they're releasing the cars, pull off one, and then Kato's talking to the announcer guy, and I don't know what they're saying, but
they're very loud and very
both of them are loud, and both of them are talking a mile a minute. So I don't know what's going on, but everybody was pretty excited from it. And as far as merch wise, dude, they have so much merch, man. They are killing it, dude.
I'm sure,
because that booth is never empty. It's always on fire, man.
And then they dropped some collabo or something like that.
Yeah. So they did so they did a collabo with Antisocial Social Club.
Okay.
And I was talking to Rich from LTMW, and he said that it sold out in 10 minutes.
Yeah.
And they had like 6 huge boxes full of the merch and selling out in 10 minutes. I'm like, damn, bro.
Yeah.
Caking, you know? But I mean, you got to take those kind of risk, you know, not building those cars and having them or whatever. It's not cheap, you know?
Right.
And
I mean, that booth was not cheap.
Hell no.
And like, you know, normally when we're in this industry, I mean, I'm not even to the point where I have a booth, but like, you know, guys that I know that do own their companies, and they're like, you know, oh man, my it's 2 years old, and I either have to rebuild it or I need to get another one, and it's like $100,000.
Yeah,
like fuck, man, these numbers are crazy. So yeah, I mean, he probably spent mad loot on that booth, and he just did a booth.
Yeah.
So I mean, yeah, like all that revenue of the whole thing is just paying for like next year's booth or whatever. It's like you have to you look at it like, God, these guys are making money, but they're also spending fuck tons of money.
Okay, everybody, we're going to take a quick break for our sponsors, and we'll be back in 1 minute. Yo, what's up, fool? Make sure you check out Downstar for all of your dress-up needs. Get it poppin' over here. We have all the kits for the K-Series, the B-Series, the transmission, the mounts, the engine, the Toro, baby. We have the hardware for the seats, for the stereo. We got it for the speakers. We got it for the lug nuts. We got it for the air valves. We got it for everything, dog. So you make sure you hit us up at downstarinc.com, or you call us up, fool. You can even text us, lame, 818-937-3472. Just shoot us a text and tell us what's up, dog. I need some fucking balls in this bitch. Hit us up, downstarinc.com. Hey, and if you got an Instagram, slide in our fucking DM at Downstar. Wait, hit up the homie, Frank_Downstar. He's the one that takes care of all the DMs. Hit that level up and shoot him a message, and he'll get you all taken care of real nicely. And that's the thing, you gotta spend money to make money, dude. You know, if they were to stick with the same thing that they've been doing for the years, I mean, it's still gonna get attention, but not as much.
Right.
But revamping your company every year, it's like, wow, dude.
Yeah.
And you're right about that, about having other cars, because it wasn't just the 4 that was in the booth. Dude, next to that, the 8 by Bathing Ape collabo Huracan that they did, there was other cars right there.
Yeah,
like god damn, bro.
And new NSX kit.
Yeah. Oh, that's right.
Yeah.
So they came out with a Liberty Walk NSX kit, which was pretty cool, man.
It was cool.
I did like that. But you know, me being a Honda guy, you would think that I'm just dedicated to that. But my favorite car of the event was the Rolls Royce. What is it? The Cullinan.
Oh, right.
With what is that company called? The body kit company?
I forget.
Missouri.
Oh my god, I should know, but it's just not my.
I'm not in my
thing.
rapper shit, but I need to be.
Yeah,
yeah. That
I know it's like 100 G's for like a lip kit, but
that was my favorite car of the show. I loved it, dude. But it was cool, man. What stuck out to you at the event?
Fuck, I don't know. Well, I've been really intrigued with like electric stuff.
Yeah.
And there was only one this year that I noticed. And some guy did like a MK3 Supra.
Got you.
With like an electric motor. But granted, I'm not trying to hate, but it was very simply done.
Yeah.
It was like a 4 battery setup, very small little motor. And then he made like a little adapter plate to a gearbox. And maybe it was like, I don't know, like you just, you know, multi-speeds, or if you put it in like third or something. I'm not really sure like any of the details, but it just didn't look like very well done.
Yeah.
The car was cool though, because it was like your normal tuner car, like on the outside looked great, but he like EV'd it, which that definitely stood out.
Yeah.
I'm not saying that it was like my favorite car, but it stood out to me. That like EK Civic stood out because it was so different. I don't know, man.
Yeah, I couldn't really pinpoint one either. You know, that Cullinan, it was nothing really fancy done besides the kit, but I just love it. You know, with big wheels, kit on it, and it's just something I could see myself whipping one of these days. Mm-hmm. So I love that. The Ape by Bathing Ape collabo with a Liberty Walk. I love that, and basically it's just like a Liberty Walk Huracan with a dope ass wrap on it. But
there was a ton of like rotary powered cars.
Yeah,
the rotaries are really big here. So there were some RX-7s that were really nice. There was a Hakosuka that was really nice. That like it was like a interesting color. And Ravi's like, dude, paint your car this color. It was like really cool. It was like this kind of a gray, kind of a green, kind of a, I don't know. It was interesting.
Yeah.
Maybe I'll post it on my IG or something. To just show you guys the color. Just think about the cleanest Hako, like very simply done, but in this wild color that's different when you look at it, but not like chameleon, because it wasn't that crazy. It was just under light. It would be kind of like one color and then another. It was pretty rad.
It didn't even register to me until you guys pointed it out. So yeah, I get what you're saying. It's not like the paint job was a rainbow paint job or anything like that. Right. But it was just it was so deep that it changes in a lot of different light.
It was really nice,
and it was dope. I really liked that they had just the windows all blacked out on that. Yeah, and everything just it just looked right on it. One thing that did stand out to me as well, and I seen it last year, but it kind of just didn't click, is all those little Suzukis, dude.
Yeah, the Jimmies.
Yeah, the Jimmies,
the little ones.
I think I kind of fell in love with it when I saw the Greddy one at SEMA, which was actually here as well.
It was.
Not only that one, they did another one. There was like two of them by Greddy. So
from what I was sort of heard through the grapevine is that Greddy and or the companies that are on board with that car, they're creating multiple. So it's like a fleet of them that they're either for sale or whatever, but they're doing a bunch of those cars.
Is it going to be in the States? Available in the States?
I believe so.
No shit.
And do you know for a fact that was the one from SEMA is in fact the one that's here?
I don't know for a fact, but I'm pretty sure. I mean, it looked just like it.
Right. But if they are doing a whole fleet of those,
it could be a different one. You're right.
Then it's like this just in that fleet. I don't know the details, but I'm sure like Kenji could tell us exactly, but I just don't know. But
yeah, and they look like little G-Wagons, dude. Fucking sick. Yeah. And we even saw one driving around and I was like, dude, that looks rad.
It's like the K car styling because it's mini, right? But then it's, little Jimmies. Yeah, they're cool.
So then being at the show, I ended up running into one of my buddies, Jordan, and Jordan's one of my friends from Maui. So this was his first time in Tokyo, and then first time at Auto Salon, and it was cool to hang out with him because he always takes care of me when we go to Maui.
Yeah, so we bumped into a lot of people.
Yeah, definitely. So I ended up having lunch with him, and then we come back to the show, and it was pretty much about time to go.
Right.
Finished up the show. There wasn't much else that we needed to see. Ran into a couple people, like you were saying. Had a good conversation with Charleston from ASR. Shout out to him. And then it's always like that, at Auto Salon and even SEMA as well. You see somebody have a quick convo.
And they're local to you. Like Charleston is not far from you by any means, right?
Yeah.
But then when you're over here, you kind of have that connection. Everybody's like wants to see the people in the industry and talk and stuff. So you'll end up having these like conversations that, or maybe a business deal or figure out how you can collaborate with someone.
Definitely.
At an event like this. It's weird, but that's just the vibe. Everybody's working hard. They want to, I think everybody's inspired.
Yeah.
So they're like thinking for the next thing. Like we were doing that the whole damn trip.
Hell yeah.
Like, and like trying to get inspired, trying to figure out what's next, trying to figure out how we can grow our business, or you know what I mean? Like, I always kind of I tell my girl, like, I don't really get much business from Auto Salon, but because everybody's here, things happen.
Yeah.
Right.
And I also feel like you're taken more serious on a different level.
Sure.
And I take people more seriously on a different level if they do come out to Auto Salon.
Yeah, it shows commitment.
Yeah, it definitely does, because you're breaking it down. It's not a cost thing. We can break down the whole total if we add it up or something, post it on social media later, like actually what we did spend.
Right.
But you're talking maybe like $2,500 from flight to hotel to Auto Salon to everything.
Yeah, I mean, dude, it could probably be 2,000 to be honest.
Yeah, it depends on if you want to have a room like Ravi,
Yeah.
it could be a lot cheaper. But somebody who can invest like $2,000 to make it out here to get inspired, it shows me the people that I do want to do business with, because these guys are more serious than just taking advantage of whatever shows that we do have locally. Mm-hmm. And any young business owners or anybody that's in the industry now, that's the way that I perceive it. I don't know if that's the way you perceive it, but it just makes sense. So if there's companies that are based out of California and they don't even travel around the country, yeah, that's cool. You keep doing your thing, but it puts you in a different category.
It does.
And even when I see people out here that they don't have businesses or aren't
or
really
like
in
your buddy from Maui,
Jordan,
right?
yeah. Like when I see that, I'm like, dude, that's so inspiring that you could come out here and you don't even have a business.
And no, I don't think he was riding solo too.
Yeah.
So that's another thing you got to think of. Like, yeah, I mean, you ultimately want all your buddies to come out, right?
Yeah.
Like you want it to be this big thing. All the homies are here. Try to get all your dudes enjoy this thing with you, but maybe a lot of your friends aren't in the right financial situation. They got work, they can't leave the country, and then it's like, well, okay, I can or whatever, just go and just do it and ride solo. And that's actually a huge challenge in life. And I think a guy like that would actually learn something about himself at the end of that trip.
Yeah, definitely. And that when we went to lunch, I was having that conversation with him. I'm like, dude, it says so much that you were able to just do that by yourself.
Just
you don't
up and leave.
Yeah, you don't let other things hold you back. And that's so easy to be held back. Like, oh, me and Ryan were supposed to go, but then Ryan can't go now, so I guess I'm not going to go. It's like, no, you can go.
Yeah.
You get to figure out yourself, figure out your strengths, your weaknesses, the things that you're good at, the things that you're not, and then build on top of that. And then he and I had a conversation as well, and I'm like, dude, if you want to do something, like we can work out something where you sell Downstar, you promote Downstar, and you could just start right there.
Yeah.
And it's just, I wouldn't have given him that opportunity if he's just living in Maui.
Yeah, so like let's just say, for example, that he came out here, he rode solo out here, he met up with you, he's been wanting to meet up with you, whatever, right? And then you give him an opportunity like that just because you could tell his commitment.
Yeah.
And then who knows what that could start.
Definitely.
He could fucking open up a shop because of it. Do you know what I'm saying?
No, definitely. And since you see that as well, what if he does end up and he gets more capital? Hey, I want to do like a buy-in with you, Ryan, or something,
Yeah.
And it's to have somebody on the island that knows everybody and is part of the community, that's a lot of value to us.
Yeah, just even if it's almost like a self-proclaimed brand representative.
Definitely.
You know what
definitely.
I mean? Then cool.
Yeah, man. And that would have never happened if he didn't make that opportunity.
Right. And who knows, there's probably 10 more of those cool opportunities.
Yeah.
Like, you got to talk to some people for some potential.
Yeah.
It could change your entire business.
Yeah, definitely, man. And I can see those steps going. And if I wasn't at this event, if I didn't get to meet these guys, it might never happen.
Yeah.
I could be sending blind emails and the guys are going to say, I'm not interested. But once you're there and you know that guy, oh, cool. You're laughing. And it's just like they take you seriously on a different type of level. So
it trickles down.
Definitely.
You do that to this guy and then this giant, head honcho of this big ass company does that to you.
Yeah.
And then everybody like everybody gains something out of it.
I think what I've been saying a lot on this trip is I really like to plant seeds. You know, figuratively speaking, we have so many seeds that we could just plant wherever. It doesn't matter. Yeah, you have to put yourself in uncomfortable situations. You have to be able to see opportunities that aren't like beep, 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 you know. You have to be able to make those opportunities. But dude, I have anything that I'm successful at right now is a seed that I've planted so long ago.
Yeah.
Even this relationship that you and I have, you know, we know so many of the same people, and they don't have the relationship with me or you that you and I have.
Right.
But I think it may have even started at SEMA when we just said, fuck it, let's stay together. You know?
Yeah.
Just us being, you know, just like, fuck it, whatever.
Yeah.
And just going from there and there, and then goes to Auto Salon, and now we're 4 years deep. And dude, I think you and I have things that we're going to work on this year to build even more. Yeah. And it's great to have somebody like you that I could throw ideas at, and I feel comfortable talking about it.
Same, yeah.
And I like the bluntness that you have, you know?
Yeah.
We could have these conversations, and I tell you my point of view, you tell me yours, and we go back and forth, instead of me telling you something, you know, that's cool, you know, and not feeding it, because with both of our energies together, and especially with Ravi, all of our energies together, we're just like cooking, bro.
Yeah. It was crazy the amount of ideas. Like, you know, Ravi has a very successful business. He is doing things differently than you, maybe, but it's just, and differently than me, and I'm doing different things than you. Yeah. But like the fact that he could just go like, dude, Frank, what about this idea? Yeah. And then you're like, you know, and he starts something out, it just turns in this giant thing. And then he says stuff for me and you, and I talk to you about things. And dude, it's pretty crazy, like the conversations that we have about business, kind of internal things, and the amount of information that we all know about each other's business is pretty interesting. And
it is, and it's nothing that I would ever put out there. Yeah, exactly. I'm very private about my business, you know, the funds that we're making or whatever. But it's like when you have people like yourself or like Ravi, we're not competing against each other. Yeah, we're not like flossing on each other or anything like that. Because if we all wanted to, we could do whatever we want. We could do the same thing that everybody else is doing. Like I could do what you're doing, you could do what I'm doing, Ravi could do what both of us are doing, and it's like we're not trying to ball out on each other. Yeah. We understand that like it takes a community of thoughts to get to that next level. The reason that I got to the level that I'm at right now is because I have these conversations with people, and I'm like I'm very humbled. Like, dude, this is what I do. I don't know. How do I get to the next level? Yeah. What do I got to do? Instead of me being like, yo, you know, I'm the shit or whatever. Like, all of us, we could just keep running our business how we're doing it right now and succeed.
Yeah, and we're not faking the funk to each other. Yeah. I'm not over here trying to, like, tell you that I'm doing this and that, and I'm talking to this person, and it's going to be this crazy collaboration. And no, we're just like, we're all struggling in our own way. And we're all trying to grow something to be something that, you know, the way that we see it. Yeah. Right. And we're all trying to get there. We're all trying to do it. So, yeah, you know, Ravi really gave you a lot of suggestions. He always gives me suggestions on things. And I look up to him because his business is a bigger, you know, business than mine. Yeah. And maybe mine's a little bit bigger than yours, but it's different in different ways. And you do things that are probably you could probably grow faster because you do certain things, and then maybe Ravi thinks that he grows faster because he does certain things, right? Yeah. But being able to share all that information, it really like opens your mind up to the possibilities and how to be able to grow.
And we would have never had any of these conversations if we weren't in this intimate situation.
Yeah, because
Auto Salon.
Yeah, because like a text message, when you have time, there's gaps in between, but we're all sitting on like a train packed in like sardines, and we're just like, dude, you know what you should do? You should hit this dude up. You should go over to that booth right now and talk to them and tell them that this, and I'll walk over there with you. And then it's like, oh shit, my business is just, my head just exploded. Yeah. There's so much potential.
And it's so strategic too. It's like, yeah, dude, I'll drop him a line later, and then I'll talk to him later. So these people are on the other side, they don't know what's going on, and they're like,
Yeah.
I met this dude, and there's like, what? The name popped up again. What the hell? And the name popped up again, and all of these people, that person respects their opinion.
Yeah.
And I wouldn't have the relationship with all those people if they didn't see the genuine side of me. If I wasn't trying to stun on them and shit, if I was just like a douchebag, that people wouldn't be fucking with me, and vice versa.
Exactly. True.
So the show was a success. We end up taking off from the show, coming back to Shibuya, and then we were gonna go to that meet, right, in the Daikoku.
Yeah, that's right.
Yeah,
We planned on doing the Daikoku PA, the parking area, which is the really cool one where it's really hard to get to, but it's like kind of halfway between Tokyo and Yokohama. And on that path, when you're exiting the city, there's a crazy like parking area for like truckers.
Yeah.
And it's this massive like overpass, multi-height, like super tall, kind of circular, like spinning downward
yeah.
pass. And so if you guys see like Japanese parking lot meets where it's like they do a cars and coffee there because, the coffee is all their warm vending machines. And there's the really cool, you could just see all the different levels of highway spinning around. So if you see that in the background, that's the Daikoku exit, if you will.
Yeah. So we end up, Robbie says, hey, do you want to hang out with the guys from Speed Hunters again? And he said, you want to hang out with the guys from Speed? Yes.
Yeah.
Say yes. For one, those guys are awesome. For two, is like, I would love to go to that meet, and we probably wouldn't be able to make it to that meet because we didn't have a car.
Yeah, you need a car.
You need a car to get there. And so they end up picking us up in the Phantom again, which was sick, dude. We rolled out in the Phantom to go to this meet, and it was very challenging to find it.
Well, not to find it.
It
was very challenging to get the right exits.
Yeah.
So, like, literally, I went there with Aaron from Go Tuning before.
Yeah.
We drove out there, and Aaron, he's good at Japan, and it was like nothing, right? So, we were trying to follow our GPS, and I was watching the guys, in the front.
Yeah.
The UK guys, and they were like, oh, okay. They're really good. You could tell, like, they know what they're doing. But if you do one exit wrong, where it's just split. And if you make one wrong split, like a left and a right, whatever, if your GPS is off at all, like you were saying that it floats like crazy.
Yeah.
You literally have to drive all the, like, I'm talking like a 30-minute,
Yeah.
right, detour to get back to try it again.
Yeah. So you're talking like 15 one way, flip around 15 the other way, and it was just crazy, but not for us.
Yeah.
I'll stay in that Phantom forever, dude.
Yeah.
Just drive us around.
Yeah. So I had some coffee right before that, and then I had like a little bite of food, and like I didn't want to tell those dudes because I like really didn't want them to think that I was legit gonna like puke in their Phantom. But do you think we were driving around in circles, and I'm just like, fuck, dude, I need to get out of this car so bad. Probably the only time I'll ever say that I want to get out of a fucking Phantom in the back of the Phantom. But I was seriously gonna like spew. I was not feeling well. That the coffee was really strong.
Yeah.
And then it was like this weird like cheese thing that Robbie and I split, like this sandwich.
Yeah.
Just to hold us over, and like, yeah, I felt gross.
And it could have been just spinning around in all those circles too. You're going around and around and speeding up and U-turns and this and that.
Yeah.
I had no idea, dude.
I was just like, whoa. So I got out and I was like, this is literally a breath of fresh air. I was like, ah. So, and there was all these cars. It was dope.
Yeah, dude. It was really a really cool meet. So we go to this meet, and I forget what time of night it was. Maybe like 9 o'clock.
Probably 9 when we got there.
Yeah,
because we got there a little late, right? Hour later, like 40, something like that.
Well,
late.
I thought we got there late.
Oh, true. Yeah.
So we get there, and cars just keep pulling up and coming, and there was a lot of cool things out there. A lot of replica Kanjo style cars.
Yeah, I saw some cars that I know from Osaka that they're not the Osaka cars, right? It was pretty funny. So they definitely do like they're inspired by their own culture.
Yeah.
I don't think that. Okay, let's say some guys from NorCal
Yeah.
are like on a super high level. Everybody in the whole world knows their cars. I don't think somebody from like SoCal would like make the same car,
Yeah.
but like a little worse and like put like the same stickers on it.
Yeah.
I don't think they would do that. But apparently that was done here.
Yeah.
Kind of surprised, but it was interesting to see. And you saw like the same stickers, Kanjo King like stickers.
Do you think that these guys, they're at a higher level, like they're looked at as extreme celebrity to them, so maybe replicating their car isn't as odd?
I see what you're saying.
You know
So
what I mean?
what you're getting at is if somebody was like praised at like the highest level and like the highest level,
Yeah.
that then somebody at okay, let's call it a lower level, if you will, would be more inclined to copy it.
That's the only thing that I can really think of.
Because if it's kind of like this evenly matched thing, or not too, it's not like somebody's on a high pedestal. They're just kind of, it's all in the same scene together, and
yeah,
you wouldn't like copy their car.
I mean, we look up to the Kanjo guys from from the States because what they're doing is crazy. They're racing and stuff.
Or just for me, it's like, I personally don't think it's crazy, whatever. I think more if it's like the heritage of, like these guys have been doing this for 30 years the same way.
Yeah.
And they, are finally kind of getting their notice.
Yeah.
They spend a lot of time on their cars, and it's passion, and it's more than just for clicks.
No, definitely.
It's because they firmly believe in the Honda Civic.
So I think for us to actually really grasp it, we would have to know the Japanese culture of the regular enthusiast. Because we know a lot of the Japanese guys, but these are like the movers and the shakers. They're not like the 16-year-old kid. So I don't know how the 16-year-old kid looks at those guys, and just wants to emulate anything possible of them that they could. But that meet was pretty cool. Did you see anything there that really stuck out?
I do like Porsches a lot, and there was like a 72. I don't know if it was a real like legit RS. I guess I'm just not I just don't know enough about like all those genuine like and what they have available for fakes and stuff like that, but what looked to be like a 72 RS, like 911 air cooled RS, which was fucking clean. It was white with like the blue accents, and it was so nice, so nicely done. And then there was some oh my god, now the kind of car is escaping me, but like it's an Evo 2 basically. I really like them, and I just feel stupid that I can't remember the exact name of everything right now, but there was like 3 of them in a row, but some of them were a little different and stuff like that. I just don't know too much about those, but stupid clean. There was like this blue one that was perfect. I have some pictures, maybe I should post some for him, at least in my story. But yeah, I'd say the 72 RS was dope. There was those old school like Evos. There was, what else did I like? I like the fact, this is typical of Japan. You have like a white DC5 and then a white DC2, and then they kind of like both be Type Rs, let's say, and they kind of do that a lot. I remember my first time coming to Japan, when I go to parking lots, it would be like a red DC2R and a yellow DC2R, and then it'd be like a white DC5 and a white DC2.
Oh, really?
And then I was noticing that a lot. Like they'd have like kind of the same kind of cars. The guys like knew each other and they parked together. Right. So it was neat seeing those little clumps. So I did appreciate that part of it, where it's like, oh, there's those cars and those cars and those cars, and they're in little pockets and they're parking next to each other. But there's a bunch of cool rotaries. I always like to see the rotaries. I would never in my wildest ever want to work on a rotary. That would be like a nightmare for me, but like I like to see the cars, and they sound cool and stuff. So there's a lot of like RX-7s and stuff like that.
I like the car that they were shooting for Speed Hunters, that 8 Series.
Oh yeah, that BMW was really cool.
Yeah, it was the older, like, sharp nose kind of one. I don't know what year it was, but I think that it's the one that was in the movie Paid in Full. I don't know if you ever seen the movie Paid in Full.
I missed that.
But it was that movie is like a movie with the rapper Cameron, and there's a part where Dame Dash he's just flossing and he's in the hood and he's in that car, and I'm like, dude, that shit is sick, bro. So it could have been like maybe late 90s. I don't know. I don't know.
Yeah, I think they're like late 90s.
I don't know what kind it was, but that car was pretty sick.
Yeah,
they were shooting, and when they were shooting it, dude, I'm like, bro, you guys are shooting for Speed Hunters, but it's just what they're doing. It just seems so easy.
Yeah, he was making short work of it too.
In my head, when you do a photo shoot, it's just like so much more than that. But they had the stick. They're doing the long exposure, doing this, and then 5 minutes, 10 minutes later, shoot's done.
Yeah,
and I'm excited to see what those pics look like when they come out.
Yeah, like, you know how when you think of a photography session, you go like, okay, do like all these pictures, and then some of them are going to be like a waste because they don't turn out good. You know, like a bad angle or maybe like a bad backdrop or something like that. They already know the shots they want.
Yeah,
they want this shot, this shot, this shot. Four or five shots.
Yeah.
Right. And then they just go click, 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 click. They do all these like different light over different parts of the car. And then I think, don't quote me on this, but I think that they just like overlay all those pictures.
And then just edit out whatever needs to be edited out.
Yeah. That's why when people walk behind or whatever, walk by, he's not really tripping because it's just they're using all the different shots as highlights and they put them all together. And I know that like that's how you're able to make it look like how do you get that lighting so good, consistent, because they literally do multiple shots.
Yeah,
they do multiple whatever. But like I said, I don't know hardly anything about photography, but that's what I've noticed when they do these kind of shoots.
Yeah, I really like that light bar that he had.
Yeah, the fucking Jedi nightstick.
Yeah, so basically what it was maybe like a 36-inch light bar on like a monopod, you know, and you're just wanding it over. I'm like, dude, that's sick, man. I think a lot of things with photography is really that you have to have a good technique and a good eye, and just use the tools that you do have, and that was a pretty cool one. I like that.
Yeah, dude. They did those shoots they just knocked that shit out.
Yeah. So then they ended up taking off to go do rolling shots of that car, and we're just hanging out at the spot right there. And by this time, it's getting later.
And then we ran into Dino.
Yeah,
from
Dino
Speed
from
Hunters.
Speed Hunters as well.
His kids were out, and he was telling us about how his house flooded.
Yeah.
And that's why I'm like, because I'm thinking in my head like, damn, dude, you got like 6-year-old kids out at like midnight in the cold or whatever.
The twins, I think they were like 4, dude. They were pretty young.
Damn, yeah. But then you realize like, oh, okay, well, they're staying at the in-laws' house, and it's like they're crammed in this tiny spot because their house is like was underwater, you know?
Yeah.
So now I kind of get it. Like, you know, it's like, okay, anything, man. They just get out of the house when you're kind of in a situation like that.
Yeah, no, definitely. Very unfortunate, but it seemed like in good spirits.
Yeah, it didn't seem like it was.
So that was pretty cool. One thing that was really surprising there at the meet as well, of how many domestics there were. There was like that group of Chargers there. Yeah, and it's just that's so surprising to me. Even walking yesterday, we see like Camaros and things like that, and just it hits different here. You know, I guess back home they're just everywhere, dime a dozen, so you didn't even look at them.
Right, like we saw that. What was it, a Hellcat or something?
Yeah.
That was like on the street. It was loud as shit.
Yeah.
And I was like, oh, it's kind of cool here in the States. That should be whack.
But it was cool, man. So we got back to the hotel that night pretty late. We didn't even get dinner. We were just getting like snacks.
Oh yeah, that's right.
And we ended up having like that corn soup.
Yeah.
Just to hold us over. And by the time we got back, I'm like, bro, I am fucking beat, because that was Auto Salon. We're up early, so we did a whole entire day.
Yeah.
And I was like, dude, this is a long fucking day. And then in the that night, and then in the morning, I was just like, dude, I'm sleeping in. But you can't.
Yeah, I know.
You can't sleep in. your body wants to get up. You know, your mind's like, I need more sleep. You look at your phone, and it was like 8 o'clock. I'm like, all right, fine, let's.
Yeah, I want to say that I was probably up at 6:30 that morning.
Yeah. So the next day, which was Sunday, we didn't make it to Auto Salon, but we
didn't even want to.
No, hell no, dude. But we ended up, we were doing shopping in Harajuku.
Right.
Yeah. So the Harajuku area, which is probably maybe 10, 15 minutes from here on a train.
Yeah, and then like a walk, it's like 20.
Yeah.
It's like a neighboring town, if you will. They're connected. The whole thing is like shopping, like streetwear paradise.
Yeah.
Right.
Oh yeah, dude. That place has like let's name off some of the stores. For sure my favorites. Bape. Then they have an Ape by Bathing Ape. They have Supreme. They have Neighborhood. They have we went to the Carhartt place. We saw I can't think of any. Basically, if there's a big streetwear brand, they have a shop out here, which is cool because it's not like Fairfax in LA where you have to park and get out. They're all in a bunch of alleys and random places.
And the alleys are dope, and the architecture is really dope. I'm like really into that. So seeing some of these like buildings and stuff that they, you know, they're like really stylish out here. So it's neat to I love just walking through those streets and just seeing, you know, really, really cool architecture. You could tell people really tried hard. Like we always notice this one building where they did this it was basically high polished, like chrome plumbing.
Yeah.
And everything is so precise and it looks like pie cuts.
Yeah.
And I mean, it's nothing, like it's just normal shit, but dude, it just looks like they actually try. It wasn't just like, whatever, it's some pipes outside and we're just gonna like throw this all together with these connections and stuff. It's like everything is meticulously done, whether it's the junctions on the like the wood on the trim, and everything is just so much detail involved.
Yeah, and you're really big on architecture, and I'm not because I don't like it, just because I've never been experienced to it. But everything that you've been pointing out, I'm like, you know what, that is really cool.
Yeah,
all the things that they're doing is really cool. And in that area, it's like not one building is the same as the other.
Right, like you go, oh, you know, a concrete building. You think, oh, they do concrete because it's cheap and like whatever. And then I'm like pointing out things to him about like, you know, to you about like board formed concrete, you know, and I explain the process of that.
Yeah.
And like that, you know, you don't want too much seepage because then it looks weird, or the boards fit together, and just the time it would take to like, you're over engineering concrete. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But then when it's all done, it just looks so fucking cool that it's a piece of art at that point.
Yeah.
So the fact that they do that here is really, really cool.
Yeah, a lot, and especially like the streetwear stores, like they're really cool to go into. And too, back in California they are, but it's not to the level of Japan. They're awesome. And even if you do have two of the same type of stores, like two Bapes within a mile radius, they look completely different.
Yeah. That's true.
And we did go into that other store, that like Panda store. I've never even heard of this brand, but it was like Happy Panda or something.
Oh yeah,
like that. But that was crazy, dude. They had like glass or like mirrors everywhere.
Oh, that
and like TVs on the floor.
I thought I was gonna like fall down. It was like a what do they call them? Whatever, mirror house. Like,
yeah.
It was so weird.
Yeah, but that shop was pretty cool. But I was disappointed, man. Every year I get my new 8 by Bathing Ape jacket, and I found one that I wanted, and they only have in like super small size.
Yeah.
Fuck, dude. So
you didn't do very well.
I didn't, man. And then I wanted to get Ash a jacket. Same thing, dude. 2X small only. What the fuck? What do you mean, dude? So it was not only there, it was a few other shops too that just everything was either a small size or they didn't have it in, and it's just like, I don't know what their business model is.
I don't know.
I'm wondering, like, how much would it be to have 3 in stock? You know,
right?
3 small, medium, large, XL.
Who's in charge of reordering? I don't understand this. You know?
Yeah.
I mean, if you're like, oh, it's a limited drop, and this is how many we have per store. I get it. But it's not. It's a part number.
Yeah.
So who's not ordering the part numbers?
And it's not like these parts are like extremely expensive. Dude, I understand business. This jacket costs $30 to them. Just fucking bring them in, dude.
Yeah.
I don't know what was going on, but I was kind of upset that I couldn't get something. So,
yeah, because if you bought 2 jackets, well, you bought one already, right?
Yeah.
Or multiple, whatever.
Yeah.
You buy a jacket every trip. Dude, the profit margin is so high on each one.
Dude, the jackets are like $350, bro.
It's in their best interest to keep a few on deck. Like, I don't understand how you can just have a small, dude.
Yeah, didn't make no sense. So I was bummed out. I didn't get to find anything. But then we ended up eating at this small restaurant. And when I say small, it was like the kitchen was in the same room as the one table.
Right, so that was actually breakfast.
Yeah.
So we got up. This is the same day. This is just like, let's just talk a couple hours sooner. 11 is when most of the breakfast places and coffee places open. Which
everything.
Is ridiculous.
All the stores. Everything opens at 11 or later.
Yeah. So then, there is a select few shops here and there that'll open a little earlier. So we're looking it up, trying to find the right hour. Okay, we found one, right? So we go, I kind of know where it is. We keep walking from the spot we were at, and like tiny little restaurant where it was like 2 little swinging doors that we were making jokes that like some of the guys in the States probably wouldn't even be able to fit through.
Yeah.
Like freaking tiny.
It was like saloon doors.
Yeah, like little saloon doors.
But not even the width of like a bedroom door. Smaller than that.
Yeah, not 30, because 30-inch 28 is like a small opening for a door. This was probably closer to like 19 inches. It was fucking small. So like I'm like walking through, like if I went broad shoulders, it'd probably touch on both sides, and I'm super, I'm broad, but I'm short. So like, we're like cramming in here, and this is like one table, and there's 15 seats total,
if
maybe
that.
10 seats. There was a group that was in there, and then so there was just enough space for us, and we get this, like, there's 3 selections of breakfast, right? There was a U.S., there was or you call it American breakfast. Yeah. There was a
Mexican.
Oh, there's 4 then. Yeah. There was French,
uh-huh,
right, and then there was a Taiwanese.
Yes.
Right. So I had a Taiwanese breakfast, and you had the French breakfast. And Ravi had the American breakfast?
I believe so.
I want to say that was
It wasn't
right.
the Mexican one, yeah.
No, I don't think anybody got the Mexican one. Yeah. And then it was like kind of on the higher prices, like, like $15 or something like that. I was like, for this little thing, like, I don't know. But man, it was good. It was like fucking great. And apparently all the ingredients they brought over from those places. Yeah. So the American one was from the Americas, the Italy and like whatever. Everything was imported in. And then this Italian girl was the cook. Yes. It looked like she was the owner. And she would literally kind of cook in front of you. Not like Benihana style, but like behind, and you kind of see her cooking.
There's no area for a kitchen.
There's no area. It's this tiny little spot.
Yeah.
What was it called? Of something of the worlds or something like that?
Breakfast of the Worlds.
Breakfast of the Worlds.
Possibly.
In Harajuku. Yeah. So she had 2 little Japanese workers that took the order, and were the tape whatever. So there's the 3 of them working, and she was the cook, and really, really good breakfast spot. I'm really glad that we found that.
Yeah, dude, it was. Even the bread that I got, and it had like jam on it. It was butter, and it was just, every bite was just so good.
The food's good here.
Yeah, definitely. And they have a lot of really good details to it as well. And when they're preparing it, it's very detail oriented. It's not just like whip it out, get it. They want you to have a great experience there.
Yeah.
Dude, it was delicious, man.
Yeah, and then we went shopping. Yeah. And then for lunch, we went to a dumpling spot.
Oh, that's right.
It was a gyoza house. So how a lot of times it works in Japan is the kind of what they specialize in, the kind of food they specialize in. So in this case, it was gyoza or dumplings, right? So you would get fried, boiled, and then you'd have like some garlic, some sides. But what they want to sell you is they're famous for their gyozas, right? So then we went to that spot, and it was actually really, really, really good gyoza. It was 4.5 out of 5, like on the ratings, and like where this is going to be good, and it was super good.
Yeah, it was not your normal gyoza from back home.
No,
like,
it was not your frozen
Panda Express.
Yeah, it was not your frozen gyoza that most of us might be used to. You see them making it, it's pretty damn good.
It was good. So just hung out in that area, since we didn't have any car stuff to do, any other obligations. We're just trying to enjoy the city. But with all those walk-ins and all those things, you kind of always have to have some sort of like small gap of time where you come back to the hotel, chill for about an hour.
Yeah.
Lay down, recharge.
Get your feet up for a sec because you're walking like crazy.
Yeah, I think we've been doing probably plus 10 miles each day.
Yeah, I'd say.
And then charge up your Wi-Fi. So that's one thing I wanted to mention as well. The website is Global Solutions, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah, global something com.
Got you. So anyways, guys, when you come out here, maybe your phone plan will work. I know yours does, but mine, since it's grandfathered in, if I wanted to do international, I have to pay for the whole month, and it's a grip.
Yeah, but for like $8 to $10 a day for one of these devices, it really, like, if you're posting stuff, or like let's say that you needed to go live, or let's say that you're a guy that you're coming out here, and to be able to pay for your trip, your social media is going to pay for your trip, or something like that. You need one of these Wi-Fi's. And you could just literally go online and you pay for it, and then you say, where do you want it shipped? And the best thing to probably do is to either get it shipped to what we did was the terminal. There's a post office in each terminal, so you have it figure out where you're landing and then go to that post office. The post office is open late, so you're like 8:30, so you can still get it even if you land like later on in the night. And then you will have a Wi-Fi the whole time, and then you just drop it off and throw it in the mail when you leave. So for like $10 you can have that.
Dude, it's super convenient. I think it came out to about $80 for the whole entire week, and that's nothing, dude. It comes with a return label. When we go back to the airport, all you do is go to the same post office, give it to them, they mail it out, and boom. That's it. And with me, I need to have Wi-Fi every time because I need to be in communication with my family. You know, it's bad enough to be out here for a week away from family, and then to add not being able to be in contact with each other.
Dude, you don't want blotchy Wi-Fi.
Definitely. I've had that experience before, man. And it's not right. Being out here, being away from family is so hard. And I know it's even harder if you're the one at home and you don't know what's going on. You want to make sure that they're safe. I could only imagine, if I was at home and Ash is on a trip and I can't get a hold of her or something like that.
Well, like on the plane, we're hearing like, oh, there's, a missile.
That's right.
So, it kind of crossed my mind, like, fuck, I'm not even in America right now.
Definitely.
You know what I mean?
Man. Yeah.
And they're like, I don't know if shit's going to go down or what.
Yeah.
And it's just, you need to have the best chance of being able to talk to your loved ones.
Yeah.
Right?
So you get that. You make sure you want to have like an external charger because it lasts for long, but it just depends on how much you use it. So we get back to the room, charge that up, charge our phones up, and then we go to dinner with some of Ravi's buddies.
Yeah. So last trip, we got like a tip for this really good pizza place. And, you don't normally think pizza when you're in Japan, but this guy was like trained by an Italian pizza guy.
Yeah.
And he was like what was it called? Like shit.
What is soccer?
Yeah, I was just gonna say that. What is the soccer one?
If you're like
the World Cup of pizza.
There you go.
And this guy like won it or something like that. So that it's like a short walking distance. Actually, it's kind of a trip. It's like 25-minute walk.
Yeah, but it's actually a nice walk because you're walking through the neighborhood and like all of the architecture is so nice.
Yeah, dude. There's like some fucking dope like concrete glass houses that I'm just like, yeah, that's dope.
Yeah, so Ryan's just blowing loads the whole entire way.
Yeah, my phone was in my hand. I was definitely walking and like taking pictures of stuff.
And it was cool. It was a good walk. So we meet up with Ravi's buddies from Eventury. And they're out in coincidentally out in the UK. as well. So they specialize in intakes for like the BMW and like other German cars and things.
Predominantly,
yeah.
They said they had a couple like newer Honda applications.
Yeah.
But they are like, it's pretty okay. So I'm sure we'll probably talk about this more, but it was wild to see as a business to business and being able to like talk to them. They would have been a dope person to have. Like that guy would have been dope to have on the podcast. But wow, they really over engineer. I shouldn't say over engineer. Their engineering was pretty phenomenal.
Yeah.
And their ability to create some kind of a, like the 3D scanning, everything's carbon. Their videos are amazing. The process that they use to develop their aerodynamics and the Venturi effect and all these things, it's fucking wild. And it was really cool to hear they have a podcast.
Yeah.
You know, like they're doing it. They're doing it.
Definitely, man. So I've met up with so many people, that friends of friends, you know, and I'll sit there and I'll try to talk to them, you know, and sometimes people just they're not as opening or what have you.
Yeah, they're like, well, what are you gonna, you know, like they probably
what
have
can
this,
you do for me?
Yeah,
and you know, why am I talking to that? I don't care about Hondas. You know, why am I talking to you or whatever? So
or this guy does this. Oh, that's so petty. What I do is so much better.
Exactly.
Or maybe they come off that way. You know.
Yeah. So these are Ravi's buddies. Ryan and I don't know who they are at all. So, but we're like, whatever. We don't care about meeting new people. And I'm glad we did. I'm glad we think like that, you know, because it puts us in these so many different situations that we would have never been in if we were more stubborn or, you know, set in our own ways, right? So we meet these guys, we sit down and we're chatting outside, you know, warming up. But once we sit down and start talking about business, we really find like an even ground to relate on, and it's basically just some dudes fucking grinding it out. Yeah, you know, just a group of guys hustling.
Yeah, one dude's like really good with the computer. Buy some cool like little machines that can help, you know, with everything to develop their product. And there's a dude that, you know, is good at photography and a good guy that likes to do video. And then like everything comes together and you're like, holy shit, these dudes are legit as fuck. You know? And like, you know, I think that I know what I'm doing as far as what I do. Yeah. But if you just took a couple of those guys and like added them to my equation,
it'd be out of this world.
Like
dude.
Something as straightforward as the hardware, but then adding them to like your heart, like you would be fucking selling that shit to. You would be convincing the military they need to put that shit on their tanks. You know what I mean? Like it's just like. Everybody would want, you know, they would want to accessorize hardware on normal ass cars because if they were shown the marketing that these guys know, it's just fucking on another level. So
and it was so dope that they were so free in showing us like the recipe.
Yeah, and they were stoked on it too.
Yeah,
dude, you gotta watch this video. It's from this guy right here. This guy did it. He's fucking dope. You know.
And we're watching his videos and usually when someone shows you a video, you're like, okay, cool. But I'm just like, oh my god, that is like I want to see more. Nuts. Yeah. So these guys were super awesome. We had a really good conversation, and they definitely sparked some ideas in myself and things that I want to implement into Downstar. You know, we have the product's great, sells, but it could be shown a lot better. You know?
Yeah, sure.
It could be presented a lot better, and not just because it's just a nut and a bolt. Like, yeah, they're just carbon fiber intakes. Like a lot of people make carbon fiber intakes, but not just like that.
Or just intakes, you know, like, oh, it's just an intake. It just gets the engine to the turbo, or gets the air to the turbo, or the air to the manifold. Yeah. But then they're doing with the factory clippings and overly engineering things to make it, you know, fit proper. Yeah. And dude, it's cool. And if you develop that same ideologies to your business or mine or anyone's, dude,
you'll succeed at whatever.
For sure.
You know, if you have that idea. One of the guys was saying, I work on a picture, one picture. If it takes me 8 hours, so be it. I'm editing every single piece out of that doesn't belong in there. This smudge here, this discoloration or whatever.
Yeah, he said he was like detailing like engine bays of cars. like everywhere, the entire bay,
Yeah.
just to get a picture of the one picture of the airbox properly installed and clean in the cleanest bay possible. Like,
Yeah.
he's taking the time to just clean the whole bay and pressure wash it.
Yeah.
Like, you're only showing your one little part, but then everything touches everything else, and it's all related.
Very sick, man. And I think that the content we do provide is good. But this made me feel like it can be a lot better, you know?
Me too.
So that's definitely something that I really want to work on. I always think, you know, the YouTube space, I want to do that, and I want to do vlogs or whatever, but I think there would be more value in some of the other ideas that we did talk about, which don't really require monetization from YouTube. You're basically using YouTube as like a platform, and that'll translate over to your business, and just everything it's just super inspiring, man. And I'm excited to get home and implement so many of these ideas into the business.
Yeah, same.
So have dinner with these guys, great dudes.
Yep. Walked back after,
Yeah.
and we went we came back to the hotel for a second, did we? That's when we went to, we were supposed to go to that meet
Yeah.
right here.
That's right.
We didn't have time to go. The Speed Hunters dudes were like, oh, we're gonna be at the hotel where they're staying, which has an amazing view.
Insane.
So we ended up we were a little bit late, and we were gonna take a cab. We were
gonna take a bus, but we ended up taking a cab.
Yeah, we cabbed it, and we saw the meet because we were actually staying right next to this underground parking garage meet. And when we were driving away, there was tons of cops like waiting. It was pretty crazy. They were all lined up waiting for the guys to like exit this parking garage.
Yeah.
So we saw all the cars driving around and stuff. So we knew there was like literally a meet like just below us.
Yeah.
But we were like, oh, let's go have drinks with these dudes. So we went to their hotel, and we went up to like whatever story it was. It was super high up. And
Yeah.
Killer view of the city.
Yeah. It was
Really
probably
neat.
like the 52nd floor.
Yeah.
Or something like that. So, you know, car meets are cool. It's cool. It's cool to go in there, hang out, and check out cars. But like the energy that these dudes had, it was like it was so dope to hang out with them.
Yeah.
You know, so Ravi had to take care of like a business meeting with them and asked us if we wanted to go. I'm like, hell yeah, dude, let's go. You know, so we go over there and just we're hanging out at this bar. There's a dude playing the piano. There's somebody live singing, and it's just way more upper class than I'm used to.
Yeah, it was all the way up.
Yeah, it was all the way up.
It was all the way up.
Yeah, it was cool, and we just hung out with them. The guys are drinking. We're just hanging around, talking, just throwing around ideas. You know, it's just I think they get it too. You know, everyone wants to build. Everyone wants to get to that next level, and you're just thinking about like you have those conversations like, well, where do you see Speed Hunters going? Where do you see CSF going? You know, and throwing ideas, because how I feel, I don't feel like I know everything. You know, Downstar is going the way it's going is because like that's the way that I feel comfortable with it. But I'm not married to that. If somebody throws an idea to me and that aligns with the business, I'm like, dude, that was a fucking great idea. So any of these opportunities that you get to sit with individuals who just fucking hustle their ass off.
Yeah.
Like, dude, it's awesome, man.
Yeah. So I had a couple drinks with them.
Were you feeling it?
Let's see. What did I have? I had two of those. I had two martinis, but they were like coffee martinis.
Those looked good, dude.
I've had it before.
Those looked good.
So I had two martinis, and I think I had something I had a beer at dinner before. So I mean I'm little, you know? So I was like buzzed a little bit, but barely. It was cool. So we were just kicking it and drinking, and I think Ben was kind of borderline smashed.
Yeah. And he's fun even when he's not smashed, dude. The more drunk he's getting, he's just more funny, dude.
Yeah, he was cool. Yeah. And then it was probably like 2.
Yeah, it was getting there.
2 a.m.
Yeah.
We were like, all right, we should, think about heading out. And then Ravi had to be on a plane the next morning.
His plane left at like 8 a.m.
Yeah, so he had to be up at 5 to 5:30 to get ready, pack, get his bags, get down like to his connections. He was actually flying out of Haneda, which is closer than Narita.
Yeah.
Which is cool because he was going to Singapore, and then he's going to go to Indonesia.
Oh, okay.
So he's like Singapore first. His business, and like it's no secret that his radiators are developed in Indonesia, or are made in Indonesia, and he had something in Singapore as well. Maybe he has to just see another distributor or something like that. So he was doing like a full tour, man.
Yeah,
half the globe. This dude, like, and then he was just in Florida, like right before.
That's right, for New Year's.
Yeah, so it's like Florida, back to Cali, to Australia, Japan, Singapore, Indonesia,
worldwide, bro.
And then there's no direct flight from Indonesia, so I believe me, I know it's gonna be a crazy ass flight home for him. Multi stops, probably either through Hong Kong or back through Japan.
He's a soldier, though.
Yeah,
his business is definitely scaled, and when you get to that size of a business, you have all of these different factories and people that you work with, and unfortunately, it's not just one central location.
Yeah, it's not like your all your guys are right here in this shop, and it's tiny 2,000 square feet. It's like big deal, kind of.
Yeah. So it was good to see like that side of the business.
Yeah,
because God willing, both of our businesses scale at that level, and just seeing how Ravi does it, how he navigates, just taking ideas from that, and just kind of mentally preparing yourself for is this the way that I want the business to go? Is this the runaround that I want to be on? What do I want the future to look like?
Yeah.
So that was cool, and I really appreciate him giving us a look into his life. And I can relate to him a lot, so it makes me feel like it's very attainable. Yeah, right. He's making different moves in different ways, but he's just a regular fucking car guy, just like us.
Yep, for sure.
Just running his business. So I was kind of sorry to see him leave. Like, it was dope hanging out with him, but I mean, we always have a great time together.
Yeah,
dude. We think very similar. So next day, we wake up and we actually hit up Ichiran Ramen.
Oh yeah, that's right. Okay,
hell yeah, dude.
Yep.
So
in the morning we went to ramen, and it's an interesting experience at this ramen spot.
Yeah.
So you pay in like a vending machine.
Yeah.
You get a little ticket, and you pick out what you want. And I was like, let's keep it simple because probably gonna eat a lot.
Yeah.
So we do ramen, and what you do is you get called to this tiny little booth window, and you don't see your server, and they just like open up a little door, they slide your food in, they say what the hell they're talking about. I don't know what the hell they're saying. They're like saying a million things in Japanese, and then they close the thing, and you just kind of eat like in peace. You don't get to see your neighbors.
Yeah, there's like partitions on the left, right. You could open them up, but basically it's like pretty much you walk down a hallway, and each one is a little separate booth. So you sit down at that booth, and you just grub.
Yeah,
just get in there and take care of business.
Yeah, it feels like it's made for somebody to just take a quick break, and you don't want to like talk to anyone, and just more like single one person at a time kind of thing. They don't expect you to be in any kind of groups or anything like that.
Yeah.
But it's really good ramen. We like it. It's convenient. It's on the way. It's like right near the hotel. So we ate there, and then you wanted to go visit
the OVO store. So they have OVO Japan, which is Drake's brand. So we were trying to find that, and it wasn't even that far from the hotel.
No,
I thought it was going to be a lot further, because when we met those guys from Import Fest, we met them from Import Fest, which is a show in Canada, Toronto, Canada, and they were, of course, Toronto guys. Are like, oh, we got to go to the OVO store, and I'm like, wait, what? Drake's my guy, dude. So I was like, I got to check this out. So we went to the store, and the walk was pretty nice. It wasn't that bad at all. And the building that it was in was fucking sick, dude.
Yeah, it was a super modern, like all glass concrete building. Like a big old fat ass glass pivot door, like just all the cool shit. You wouldn't expect anything less. Right?
Yeah, so it's like a 3-story building plus 1 story down, like kind of a basement kind of area. So going in there, checking it out, and for that being like a rapper's brand, they definitely had way more than a lot of these other streetwear brands have.
Yeah, they had a lot of clothes there. I was actually surprised.
They had a lot of different designs and things, and the prices weren't ridiculous. I mean, all streetwear is expensive, but it wasn't super ridiculous. Same thing, struck out, bro. All they had was smalls.
You asked for 2 different items.
2 items, and they didn't have my size. I'm like, fuck, man, I'm not gonna have shit. I'm about to hit Don Quixote or something, dude. Get some kind of gear.
I know, something.
So we ended up hitting that up, and then what did we do after that?
Oh man, shit. I was actually thinking. I was like, what did we do that day? And then when you said that, so then
we were just walking around. Yeah, there was a side of the Tokyo that we've never really been to.
Well, that side of the station we don't normally walk over there. So yeah, we were like walking all through there.
Yeah, and they had like a farmer's market, and it was just so cool at the farmer's market. Everything is so clean, and you could see the interactions that the customers having with the sellers, and it's just like both of them are so interested in that transaction.
Yeah, it was definitely a different feel. I mean, I've been to plenty of farmers markets, and nothing feels like that one did.
Yeah,
you know?
So it was pretty cool. We checked that out, just walking around, and we didn't have any plans. We didn't have anybody to meet up with. We didn't have any obligations or anything. You know, we're trying to see who's still in town, but everyone's all doing their own thing.
We came back to the hotel then for a minute.
Yeah, so we were on the way back. We came back to the hotel, hung out for a little bit, and then
got coffee.
Yeah, we wanted to. We got out, and by the hotel there's a coffee place, and you and Ravi had it before. I did.
Yeah.
But you were explaining to me, and I'm like, dude, that sounds so good. They're frozen coffee, like coffee cubes.
Like think of like an ice cube.
Yeah.
Coffee, ice cube, in little like little tray deals, and they basically pour it into this beaker glass. Mm-hmm. Okay, and this beaker glass has these ice cube coffees in it, and then they give you another pitcher of hot milk, and it's like frothy hot milk. And what you do is you just take that frothy milk, it's warm, and you just slow pour it over your ice cubes, which are your coffee.
Yeah.
And then you kind of just stir until it all melts, and then you have this like really nice iced coffee. It's really strong.
Yeah.
It's very sweet, and you don't need really much more flavor because that's all in the milk, I think.
Yeah.
So that shit was pretty good.
It was, man. And the week was hitting me already. Like, we walked around the OVO store, checked everything out. We got back to the hotel, and I'm like, I could have just passed out. But we chill for a little bit, like, all right, let's go. Let's do something. We get the coffee. Boom, I'm up. Let's fucking do something.
Yeah.
So we end up walking around, and we headed to this area. It's called Shinjuku. And if you guys have ever seen, it's where the Godzilla head is. Yeah. There's a big Godzilla head. I would probably say it's at least 15 feet tall, the head itself. Yeah. And I believe on the hour it does a performance where steam or smoke will come out of the mouth,
and then the lights
light up. It's super cool. I like that area. It reminds me of like the Santee Alley, downtown LA, kind of with the garages all open.
The garages
like that.
And then there was like the happy ending massage spots that are all
so they have these like these curtains, and it says 18 plus, and I'm like, hey Ryan, let's look inside of here. So we look and we open it up, and then no, Japanese only, and they're doing like the X, and we're like, all right, whatever, just exploring, because we never really have a chance to explore. And then we see another one, and the dude's like trying to tell us to come in, and happy ending. I'm just laughing, dude. It's so funny. And I guess that area is famous for like happy ending central.
Yeah. I guess it's like the red light district kind of thing. But you don't see any of these girls.
Yeah.
This is all just maybe, you know what I mean?
Yeah, you don't know what happens down there.
You might just go into this elevator and then you just never come back, you know what I mean? Like,
yeah.
Even though it's Japan and it's like super safe, it's still like, I don't know about walking into no elevator and they're promising you girls or something.
Yeah.
Like, no thanks. Maybe,
There's definitely an underworld to Japan.
Oh, yeah.
And I know that. I'm aware of that. And I know I'm not like a stupid American just fucking around.
Right.
No, and I would never do any of that anyways, you know, but even if I was single, I would still kind of be like a red flag. Like, I don't know if this is something that I should be doing, you know, even though it is Japan, that's like, it's a red flag.
Yeah.
So we're just walking around checking out all these places. We seen the robot restaurant, which is in that area. I think it's cool. Ryan fucking hates it.
I'm not into it.
Ashley and I went last year. We had so much fun, man. And then we see the Godzilla building, and we're like, dude, let's try to get to the top.
Yeah.
And I didn't even know, but there's like a patio area right under Godzilla.
Yeah, I wasn't aware of that either. I like heard that you can get close to it, but I didn't understand that you could. There's literally like a mezzanine kind of deck, and you can go and be like directly underneath it.
Yeah.
And we were not on the hour. It was like we had 45 minutes.
Oh yeah, there was a lot of. If it was within 20 minutes, I would have said let's just hang out, because you can hear the Godzilla from the street, like way far away from the building.
Yeah. Exactly.
So I'm just imagining how it would look if you're like right under the head.
Yeah.
It was pretty cool. So we go there, and then we find this little sushi joint. We grab some lunch and just walking around, and then we end up getting to this plaza. And we hear like a loud music playing, and a big group of people are like, what the fuck is going on? And they're like, an impromptu rave.
Yeah. In the middle of the day.
And
then these dudes are like rapping on, they're rapping on the microphones and stuff. And there's like purple haze smoke and all these bubbles. And everybody's dancing. And then these guys are like, you know who we are. And I'm like, I don't know who the fuck you are, man.
But the Japanese people were fucking going in.
Yeah,
dude.
Cool.
All ages.
Yeah.
I seen old ladies just jamming, bro. And that's random, because Japanese people never look like they're having fun.
No.
They never even smile, dude. But these people were fucking letting loose.
Yeah.
We chilled there for a few minutes. That was pretty cool, man. And then I ended up I seen that RJ DeVera was out here in Japan as well, so I shot him a message like, hey man, if you get a chance, let's meet up later for a meal or something like that. And he actually got back to me and said that he was gonna be in Shibuya. So we ended up heading back. Then we went to another building. So there was a time gap between the time that he was gonna be in Shibuya. So we got back, and then we went to this very tall building in the middle, right by the crossing.
Yeah. So there's basically, this spot is a hotel, and there's, typical of having a restaurant at the top of the hotel, and you're supposed to stay there as a guest, and you have to swipe a card, whatever. But we kind of, in the past, like me, Joey Durr, like, those guys, we've managed to get to the top of this tower, and you can oversee the crossing. And it's really cool at night, especially because if you've seen Tokyo Drift, there is like a soccer stadium court really high on the top of this building, and you actually can see down, and you can see the top of this soccer field all lit up, and then you see the crossing and all the people just like spraying across the street. It's fucking pretty cool.
It was dope, man.
Yeah, but unfortunately there was no soccer game at that point, and it wasn't quite dark. But Frank really, we hadn't done it years in the past, and you really wanted to, and I kind of explained how we could do it. And you're like, I want to do it. So yeah, in that time before we met with RJ, we went to the top, almost to the top, and we were able to kind of get a glimpse of what like I have,
It was cool to look at it from up there. I think it was like the 24th floor that we ended up getting to.
Yeah.
All of these elevators, you need your key card to get up there, and I was just pressing mad buttons, and we ended up getting to the 23rd.
It was like the elevator was doing whatever it was doing, and we somehow got to where we needed to be. And then, yeah, dude, one of the elevator spots is actually glass, so you're super high, and you can see the city from the elevator. It's pretty cool. But yeah, great view. So we got up in there, did that. Then we had some ice cream on the way back.
Yeah.
And then we were like, all right, RJ, meet, like, go through the crossing. There's like the famous Starbucks where people will look out. We're going to be at like the little kiosk spot right in the corner. All right, cool. Met up with him, and he was going to Bape.
And I didn't even know that there was another Bape in Shibuya.
Yeah, I had been, and there was one that I was like I don't know the streetwear stuff really, but I'm like, I'm pretty sure that's the one where you see these shoes under glass and it's like moving shoes, and then everybody's just like, what? Yeah, I don't know that one, whatever. And I'm like, but there's a third one.
Yeah.
And that was the one that actually it happened to be.
Yeah, so we ended up going inside of there, and I found something, but another wrench in it. The line was super long, and we're hanging out, and I just don't want to wait in line because the line was moving hella slow.
There was mad people in there.
Yeah, so I said, man, let's just roll. You know, we're so close to it. If I want, I'll probably pick something up tonight if it's still open, or tomorrow or whatever. It's not that big of a deal.
Yeah.
But so then we're walking around and hanging out with RJ, and then we end up going back to his hotel. At his hotel, they have a really nice bar right there. So this was about 6 o'clock that we ended up meeting with him. We go to this bar and sitting down, and dude, you had to even like pay to get inside of this bar. Yeah,
I didn't realize.
Yeah, dude, you had to pay to get inside the bar, and I'm like,
crazy.
Whoa, dude, and we're wearing like hoodies and shit. It's just like, you know, RJ's all flossed out, bro. He has this dope ass coat on, and and he fits in. We didn't fit in, but we get in there, fit in. And just hanging out and talking and, you know, drinking and having a good time. And dude, RJ's a fucking great guy, bro. Like I can't even say like how motivating that dude is. And we were talking, and this is like the things that he's been able to accomplish in our community. It's second to none.
Right. Like he might not have addressed all that like in his podcast. I'm sure he would. I mean, I know he went over a lot of that stuff, but like, if you really think about it, like I did say at one point, I was like, can you name anybody that has like gotten contacts like, you know, like you have, RJ, you know? And he's like, well, I'm like, dude, like Pepsi and like these corporate level gigs.
Yeah.
And I'm like, yeah, I know there's Formula D guys that have like similar things, maybe like 10 years ago when FD was like, because FD kind of did this like weird up and then really kind of a recession, and now it's headed back up again. But like even at the peak, you know, you had like guys that were sponsored by pretty crazy stuff. But that's like a FD team. Like, RJ's like solo dude, like marketing himself as himself as a brand. And you know, he had his wheel companies, and he was explaining that his goal was always to like work with Ray's wheels out of Japan. And then his last like release of wheels, he was actually able to achieve that, where he had a Ray's wheel. Yeah. You know, like that's dope, dude. And it's one guy, and it's not like he's, like, if it, let's say that it was me doing that, it's like, oh, well, he, you know, has been in the industry for 15, 20, whatever years, and he's at a business, and he's worked his way up to this level of some sort. This is just like a guy, and he, you know, yeah, he had TV shows and stuff like this, but he got that stuff from this organic growth and just understanding business and showing these businesses that he is valuable. Yeah. You know, like you or I could be like, oh, our businesses are valuable, or like this podcast is valuable to a company because of the demographic or the age or something like that. Like he was able to show that he himself is valuable to Pepsi. Yeah. Like what the fuck? I would never in my wildest dreams ever. I'm you know, maybe I just don't. He believes in himself. Yeah. And he believed that he was valuable to Pepsi. And you know what? Pepsi believed it. Yeah. And so did all these other people. Valvoline, like crazy, dude. These big tire companies, like, dude, wild stuff.
I don't think that he really gets the credit that he deserves. You know, people always recognize him from Fast and the Furious, and it's like, he was already 10 years deep at that time. And the reason that he was in the movie was because he was consulting for that movie. He made them aware that he has the background in this culture,
and they said, yes, I'll put trust in you and we'll hire you for consultation. And they liked him so much that he got a role, in the movie, and he gets residuals still to this day. Man, talk about a great gig, right?
Yeah, definitely, man. He's nothing less of inspiring.
Yeah.
And just like I said, dude, he's one of those dudes that when you're around him, you're not like, oh, I'm around this huge guy who's been around for so long. It's just like regular fucking dude.
Yeah. Definitely.
And him just lending his expertise to us, because he the reason maybe he is where he is because he keeps an eye on the community. He knows what's going on. He knows everything.
Yeah, dude, I see him all the time at these little car events on the weekends, in LA, Orange County and stuff like that. Like, he'll hit 2 or 3 in a day.
Yeah.
You're like, dude, how do you stay motivated for this?
Yeah.
And he's like, I just genuinely love cars. And he's like, because he knows I'm into like architectural stuff. And he's like, I find these architectural things in these vehicles. And he's like, I just nerd out over lines and where junctions meet things and where the, headlights meet the hoods. And I remember I was at one of these meets and he's like, oh, you see the 992 yet? The new Porsche, like the brand new drop. And I'm like, no. He's like, oh, there's one right there. I'm like, oh shit, I didn't even realize, He's like, let me show you. This was like weeks ago, right?
Yeah.
And he's like, you see where the front and the end, like, he's like, what's off to you? And I'm like, oh, this junction looks weird. And he's like, I think so too,
yeah.
It's these little tiny details, and he's like excited.
Yeah.
And it's a detail that he didn't really actually like, and I kind of didn't actually like either. But he wanted to see if it wasn't just him.
Yeah.
He's like, dude, what do you think about that? And I'm like, it looks kind of weird. And he's like, I agree.
But how often does somebody who's at his stature ask you anything?
Right, exactly. Hey, Ryan, come over here. I want to like show you this hood.
When?
And then he's over here like IGing all these cars. He's like genuinely thinking that they're dope.
Yeah.
Not trying to find the owner and tag them and get like whatever. Like people are coming up to him because they're the homies. They're not like, oh, dude, let me take a picture. Like, it's not like that. He's just genuinely about the cars.
Yeah.
And that's motivating to me because I feel like I kind of end up losing interest a little,
Yeah.
just doing it every day for so long. And he's been doing it longer.
Yeah.
And he's like more committed, like feeling,
Yeah.
So like it's inspiring to be like, whoa, this guy is like really legit into this shit to like a deep level.
Yeah. And we were just hanging out at the bar talking, and we were probably there for at least 2 hours.
Yeah.
Just throwing around, drinking, just throwing around ideas and picking his brain and him picking our brain and just vibing. It was great, man. And then we left there and went to go eat, and we had this yakitori place that he took us to, and there was no sign on the building.
It was just a big wood door that like I didn't even like. You would think like, oh, dude, don't open that. That's like there's like a barn back there with like some old like beat up car or something in that barn.
No signage.
No, nothing. And it was this big old sliding door, and it was just restaurant going on with tons of people. You're like, all right, okay,
Yeah. So we go in there and we just put it in his hands. He's like, do you guys like this? We said, dude, whatever you want to get, just get it.
He mentioned every one of them. I knew what everything was, and I said, everything that you just said is perfect. Let's start there.
Yeah. And then we chilled there for probably at least another 2 hours, just talking, eating, and having a great time, man. And it was an experience of a lifetime, just to get that mentorship from someone like him.
Apparently he's like he's mentoring and help us inspire a lot of people.
Yeah. And I think the reasoning is because he had that as well, and he understands the value in it.
Yeah.
And he understands that a lot of young entrepreneurs like us don't have that.
Right.
We have people that want to see us fail. We have people that don't want to see us succeed because they think that we're taking the part of their pie.
Yeah, exactly.
And he just sees it through a totally different view. He's like, he's an OG in this community, and there's a lot of OGs in the community, but nobody at his level who's still in it every single day.
Yeah, and that's what I was getting at by the whole thing, like that still in it.
There wasn't a break. He's
no break.
Still in it. And it was dope, man. We had such a great night. We ended up leaving there probably about midnight or something like that.
Yeah. We jumped in a cab. Oh, this is fun. Okay, so.
Oh, shit.
We look at each other right now and went, oh, yeah, I remember that.
That happened.
So we jump in a cab, and this was pretty common. We're like, Hotel Emmett, Shibuya. And, oh, yeah, Shibuya. I'm like, yeah. But Hotel Emmett in Shibuya? Shibuya. Like,
Yeah.
all right, dude, just drop us off at this crossing, like they just heart of Shibuya, just make this easy. I'm not gonna try to I mean, I know my way around, but I don't want to be like turn right, turn left. Just, you know where that is, cool, dump us off there. So guy drops us off, we pay the few bucks from Roppongi, pretty close, little quick ride. We're at the crossing, the big crazy zebra crossing, and we're walking to the hotel. And we're like cutting up the streets. It's like all these like streetwear shops.
Yeah.
Again, like I said, Frank's saying there's Supreme and there's this and that's and all these different shops. And we cut up different ones and find different places on the way to the hotel. And there was a club, and we'd actually seen that club the night before.
Yeah.
Like, oh shit, it's kind of like cracking over there. I wonder what that's all about. Whatever. So we're like, oh, let's walk past the club, just to see it. So then we're like walking past the club, and there was like kind of like a gate, and it was a very thin sidewalk. And right where there's this little thin sidewalk, I look to my left, and there's a cop car.
Yeah.
I'm like, oh, a cop car, okay, whatever. And I'm like sort of very close to the cop car, and then we kind of like squeeze past, and the cops just kind of like eye fucking us. Okay, whatever, that's weird. Well, I don't understand why they'd even be like, we're just
interested in us. Like, we're not even doing nothing.
I was walking by, and then so they kind of go around or whatever. They shoot back through, and then we see him again, and we're crossing. And there's no street signs, but it's like Frank and I were crossing the street at the end of an intersection, so it's a safe place to proceed through. And I made eye contact. I looked at him, kind of nodded, like, whatever. They like nodded so we can go, and then we like walk across the street. And then they kind of like cruise up behind us, and then they stop and they open the doors. I'm like, what the fuck? This is Japan, dude. Yeah. Like, what happened? Why would they even be like,
what do you want? Yeah.
What do you want? So go ahead.
So they hop out of the car, and I'm like, dude, what the fuck, bro? We didn't do anything.
Yeah.
So they come over, and they I don't know what they said. They said, like, are you tourist?
Yeah, tourist. We're like, yes. Okay, passports?
Yeah, and
no passport.
Yeah.
Oh, where's passport? Oh, Hotel Emmett? See right here, Hotel Emmett? Oh, why? Very dangerous area. Why? Oh, okay, because the taxi driver doesn't know Hotel Emmett, but does know Shibuya Crossing. Oh, okay. So we're walking, because it's easier for the driver, for a cab, right?
Yeah.
And then he goes, oh, very dangerous area. Okay, yeah, very dangerous. Sure, whatever. Probably to you it might be dangerous, but not to the people from Cali, dude. It's just not dangerous, right?
That's a 2 out of 10, if that.
Yeah, exactly. I felt very confident. If anybody like is gonna beat anybody up, it's probably gonna be me, right?
Yeah.
So we're like, yeah, dude. Okay, whatever. Dangerous. Yeah. They're like, oh, can we check you? Like,
and then when they said that, I'm like, what the fuck? I was like, for what? We don't do nothing. The hotel's right there. And they're, oh, very, very dangerous area. I was like, and so what? Like, what did we do?
Yeah.
Can we check? I'm like, no. What did we do? We didn't do nothing, dude. Like, leave us alone. And then they're just like, keep insisting. And then in my head, it just clicked like, yo, Frank, you're not in the States anymore. You don't know, like, if stop and frisk is legal here.
Yeah, like, we didn't check the laws.
Yeah.
Maybe this is perfectly normal, which it's probably not. But, and I'm like, you know what, dude? I'm like, I just put my arms up. I said, do your thing.
Yeah.
I don't have shit on me but my wallet. Like, that's all I have on me is my wallet, my beanie, and my gloves.
Yeah.
Everything else I have nothing else on me.
And then I have my my man purse with my CBD oil in it, and it clicks to me. I'm like, oh shit, this could actually be a problem. So I'm still kind of like irritated, but I'm like, whatever, go ahead. So the guy's checking my pockets and he's like, oh, what's this? I'm like, Dick, it's a fucking phone, bro. You can feel it. So I pull it out, show him it's a phone. So he's checking the bag, zipping it. And there's like one little small zipper where I have the CBD. And it's not even registering to me when I brought it that it was any sort of issue, you know, because I just use it all the time. So then I pull it out, and the lady's like, oh, what's this? I say, oh, it's CBD. And she says, oh, CBD? And I say, yeah, CBD. Oh, what is? I say, oh, it's medicine. And she's like, oh, open. So I opened it, and she went to smell it. And then I get it, I close it back up and put it in the bag. And I think that they didn't want to have to proceed to anything.
Yeah.
You know, they already knew that we were irritated, like me more than you.
Yeah.
I was like super fucking irritated. Like, what the fuck are you doing? You know, like you can't be doing this, but I don't know. They probably do it, you know, but
yeah.
So then we finished there, and I've told Ryan this like weeks back. I said, dude, we probably don't have many of these trips left, man. We should fucking wall out, dude. We should almost get arrested. So we finished up right there, and then they let us go, and we're walking. I was like, hey, Ryan, you know, we almost got arrested right now.
Yeah,
dude.
we legit like almost did get arrested. Actually, we almost got arrested 3 times this trip.
Yeah.
If you really want to get technical about that.
Yeah.
One with the whole situation, we got pulled over with a car.
Yeah. Oh, that's right. Yeah, with the Phantom.
And then before we boarded the plane in LA,
yeah,
we got like nearly cavity searched.
Yeah, it was like this Will Smith as like Bad Boys kind of shit. Dude's just wearing like a Lakers shirt and a chain and his badge on a chain, is asking stupid ass questions. Like, and this isn't at security. This is like right before you enter the plane.
Like literally what is it called? The thing that shoots out to the plane, the fucking tube, you know?
Yeah.
But it was right there, and like, hey bro, why don't you come over here for real quick? I'm just like, what? Okay, fine, dude. You know, like, have at it. Yeah. You know? Asking me all kinds of stupid questions.
Yeah.
Oh, you know, you guys traveled together. Da 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 da. How long you known each other? Like, way more stupid questions than that. Even that was just like the beginning of it. Like, hey, well, how's the weather over there? Like, I don't know, dude. You have a fucking iPhone.
And he said, yeah, does the plane got Wi-Fi? Like, what the fuck, bro? I don't fucking know.
Yeah,
dude.
It's got Wi-Fi, so I can like call the homies, like my Iranian homies. You know, I could say that because I'm kind of a little bit Persian here, but dude, it's like, come on, dude, what do you think I'm gonna do? You know,
this is irritating. I hate dealing with that, bro. I hate feeling like a criminal. I don't do
just go
things.
Through my stuff because you have to. Yeah, but don't be asking me all these questions, trying to get me all like, you know. What they're doing is they're hunting for lies or things that don't make sense.
Yeah, definitely.
You know,
I'm not the guy, bro. I'm not
like
the
Frank
one.
Just didn't even say anything.
Yeah,
like he's like talking and asking us questions, and Frank's just like doesn't even. He's not like mean or angry. He's just not speaking.
Dude, I don't want to talk.
Doesn't have anything to talk about.
I don't, what the fuck? I don't want to talk to you, bro. Search my shit. Whatever.
Yeah.
I'm not gonna ruin my trip to Tokyo. Yeah. But I'm not gonna answer your stupid ass fucking questions, dude. So yeah, that happened. Whatever.
And so that was the three near getting arrested.
It was all
close
right.
enough calls.
So it was enough to say that we almost got arrested.
Yeah.
So,
between
success.
the 3 of those, yeah, it was
success. So we come back to the hotel, just pass out, and then this morning we wake up and we have it planned to go to Spoon because Spoon has they usually have every year for Auto Salon, they have like a little party kind of thing, but this year it's switched up, so it's more of an open house sort of thing. They had it on Friday, but we've been to Spoon so many times, I didn't want to go there yet, especially since it was going to be open today, which is Monday. I didn't want to waste any of the other things that we were doing to come to Spoon. So we ended up coming here. I don't even know what city Spoon's in. Okikubo.
Yeah.
So not that far of a train ride. We actually found a better route than we've ever used before.
I normally just put like Spoon in to the GPS, but I put Type 1 because that's where the event was, is at their Type 1 location, which is like half mile down the same street. And we went to a different station, came from the other direction. It was a straight shot. It was really fast. It was actually legit.
It was great, man. And we get to Spoon, and There's just a lot of people there. Ichi's signing autographs. They're selling like a pack where it's a t-shirt, a little bag, a sticker, what have you. And we're just checking out the cars. You know, we got to see a couple of the Spoon guys that Ryan knows really well. I've met a couple times, and we actually talked about a couple cool things, which it's going to work out for both of our businesses, you know, something for you, for me. And that was pretty cool.
Yeah. Like I literally was still across the street, and one of the dudes that I know from Spoon, like, runs over to me and was like, hey, I got to go soon, but I need to show you these things. I need these connectors. I need to buy this from you. I need that from you. I'm like, all right, cool. Like, I'm like writing down on his IG, like, here, reminder.
Sending yourself messages.
Sending myself messages to, like, just remember, like, that I need to send all this stuff over to them. And
then they're working on this this pretty unique EG build.
Right.
They did this like crazy titanium header that it just goes to over the transmission instead of under it like usual. Pie cuts like crazy. We're trying to figure out a price for it. It's probably like close to like 10, 15, 20 G's.
Yeah,
like
maybe
if they were to
20
sell
for like
it.
the whole exhaust with the header and everything.
Checking it out, they did like this carbon fiber form on the floor panel and then on the shock towers, and really, really good looking like build. I'm interested to see what it looks like in the final stages of it.
Right. So Yuki Amora, which is the guy that basically everybody knows, Ichishima. He is the
founder,
president, if you will, the owner of the company. Yuki was running Spoon for maybe, he said 28 years, right?
Yeah.
And until this last year, I got an email. And he's like, hey, Ryan, I'm leaving. I'm starting my own thing. So what he's doing is this building of these cars. So he's kind of his own thing, but he was there, you know, and there's still a very close connection with Spoon, which is nice that there was no like bad blood. And it's strong enough that actually he was there at the event showing a car.
Yeah.
So
I like that. That was
still
cool.
The tight connection, which is really dope. But yeah, I saw Yuki, talk to him for a bit. He was actually interested in your parts. And, asking,
stoked on that, man.
Vendor in Japan, and you're like, no, dude, like, hit me up though, you know?
Yeah.
So
planting seeds, man.
Yeah. Yep. Exactly. So, Yuki's building that car, and so the carbon. Just to touch on that really fast, that these carbon pieces, it's like an infusion of carbon, and what it really does is it strengthens the parts on the chassis that you would want more rigid, which is on paper, it's a great idea. Never tested it before. I don't know if that's really even worth it.
Yeah.
But it's a great idea on paper, and it's something that nobody really does. There was like a couple cars that did a carbon engine bay. It's like a layover. This is like an infusion process. So it kind of goes into the, like, not into the metal, but it's, I'm not even really sure, but it's not just a sheet cover.
Yeah.
It actually strengthens and supports the weakest parts of the chassis.
Yeah.
So the shock towers
and
the floor.
It wasn't apparent how they did it. So we were even looking for seams and trying to figure it out, and it looks really good. It wasn't just like a carbon overlay.
It was
and
not
resin and things. It didn't look like it. Really looked like they cut the floor out and put a carbon floor in there, which that's not what they did.
No, it's an infusion process of some sort. So.
It was really cool. And then just went upstairs, checked out all the cars, ran into
all the dudes from Sendai.
Yeah.
So like all the types.
I was
explaining to Frank that there's type with their last name. So if you guys know, probably the most famous one is Type K. He does Type K Auto Source, and he does the USDM meets
and then the K-Day
event. So Type K is Type Kobayashi. So Type K last name is Kobayashi. So all these guys, Type W, Type H, Type this, Type that, it's all his crew basically.
Yeah. Very cool dudes, man. We got to talk to those guys, take pics and stuff, and just great energy. Ran into some other guys, a couple dudes from France who ended up relocating to Japan.
Yeah, that was interesting.
That was interesting. They were cool guys. Ran into this guy from the UAE.
UAE pilot.
Yeah, and he's a pilot, and this dude's, he looked, 25?
Looked 25.
Yeah, he was a cool dude to talk to, just talk to a few guys.
Some dudes from Canada.
Yeah, and saw some guys from Jersey out there as well. It was cool, it was cool for Spoon to do that because they know that a lot of people are in town for Auto Salon.
Yeah, and like you could tell tons of those, like I was looking on IG and everybody was there at some point in time, like I saw like, Di was there a few minutes, that Dustin guy was there.
Yeah.
And then like the dudes from the shop next door to me, you know, Daryl and all them, they were all there minutes after we left.
Were they?
And then Takeshi came back. I was just looking at my IG and I'm just seeing, oh shit, those guys are they're back there now, and then now these dudes are here, and those dudes. So like, I mean, you could have just hung out around there for 2 days and saw so many people.
Yeah, and it's dope that Spoon gets that.
Yeah.
They understand it, that part of marketing and the name, the weight that Spoon does bring.
Right.
So it's cool. Like Ichi doesn't have to do that shit.
Right.
Like, he's already an old man, and he doesn't have to be signing autographs for fucking all day for 2 days.
For real.
So we ended up hitting that up, and we're thinking, hey, what are we gonna do for lunch? We used to stay at this hotel. It was Shinagawa Prince.
Yeah, the Prince Hotel is like a real big one that everybody stays at because it's close to the show.
Yeah.
All the D-Sport guys. That's how kind of we knew about it, because
Yeah.
D-Sport was doing events for Tokyo Auto Salon like 10 plus 15 years ago.
Yeah.
And so that's where they stayed.
So we went over there, and when we first stayed there, you introduced me to the stand-up sushi in the train station,
Right.
Which is awesome, guys. If you love sushi, just think about a little place with just a bar. You go stand at the bar, and each piece of sushi is probably like $1.50, $2 each
For a 2-piece.
Yeah,
For 2.
Stupid cheap. So we went there and fucking grubbed. I probably had like 10 to 12. Ryan had maybe close to 20 pieces.
I was like, I don't know when I'm gonna be back here. Like, fuck.
Yeah, so we
Stuffed myself.
We grubbed that, and then tell Ryan, yo, we got to get this pot on, bro. And can't miss the day, man. I really appreciate everybody that listens to the show, that schedules their days by the show, and I don't want to let you guys down.
Yeah, just so you guys know, Frank was like, hey, we have to get a pot up by this time because it's going to be, X time in America. And he's like, he literally set his alarm and said, okay, I'm going to set it at 6 hours. So we're going to like do this pod, and we have to have one on Tuesday morning. Monday morning.
Yeah.
It's got to drop 100%. It can't not. And like literally
it's
we're looking
Monday, Japan at 8:34 p.m. So I'm about to edit this pod, upload it, and we're going to go get something to eat right now.
Yeah.
Yeah, so you got to do it. I tell everybody to make something successful, you have to be consistent with it. You can't make excuses. Thousands of miles away from home, out of my comfort zone of a scheduled podcast where you record it, you have it up, you do it. It's, I have it down at home where I just take care of it. Just to get a consistency. But here where I'm on vacation, I got to make sure that I take care of it. And it's good, man. I'm glad that we had this conversation because it's so fresh in our minds.
Yeah, I don't know if I would have been able to remember exactly what we did every day.
Yeah.
My brain turns to mush sometimes. But I'm glad that we did it like right now, right kind of at the end, so it was relatively fresh.
Yeah, sick, man. I'm glad to be on this trip with you, building more memories, dude, and I look forward to making even more. And who knows what tonight's gonna hold?
Yeah, dude, we could have another near arrest for all we know.
Hell yeah, man. So guys, if you enjoy this podcast, please tell a friend. Make sure you follow Ryan. If you just put Rywire on Instagram, you'll find it. Rywire _motorsports _electronics. And dude, thank you, bro.
Thank you for having me
I
again.
appreciate it, dude. And guys, just look for some awesome stuff to come out of both of our brands this year. I don't remember the last time that I've been this motivated. You know?
I hear you.
This was definitely the kick that I needed. Doing the same thing for 10 years and you even longer, you get burnt out, you know, and it's hard to get that motivation and those kind of creativity bubbles. And I can admit that for the last few months or 6 months, it's been hard for me, because for a creative person, it's not like it's always there.
Right.
You know.
Yeah, you have to go out and actively look for motivation.
Yeah, it's just like, you know, somebody who makes music or raps or whatever. Like, you have to have experiences to be able to sing about that, to rap about that. You know, it's the same thing as a car enthusiast. Like, you have to be inspired by things, whether it's builds, other companies, conversations, or whatever it would be. You know, you got to plant those seeds, man, and I'm excited to see what grows.
Definitely.
You know? So anything else before we get out of here?
Not really, man. Thank you for having me. Let's see what tonight brings.
Yeah, let's get it, guys. Once again, Downtime with Downstar, episode 133, and we out. Peace.